Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, join our cult. Hello and welcome to another throbbing, gristling episode of the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast. You are listening, finally, after a 2-week absence, to the dulcet tones of Maffew. And I'd say joined as always, but we've had more card changes than a WWE house show. So joining us this week is Mr. Ross on Wrestling.
Ari Pal. How's it going? Ari Pal? That's what everyone wants to know. Are you Alreach Pal?
I did tune in just to see what you do, and I was not disappointed. Thank you.
I bollocked it up the first week because I practiced in the car. I was doing like in the car, just sitting there.
You're practicing.
So a smooth radio was on the radio. I was like, Ari Pal, welcome to the Cultaholic Video Podcast. And I ballsed it up the first time, stage fright, but nailed it the second time.
But it's like me though, if you balls it up. So that's fantastic. What a method actor.
How are you though?
No, genuinely fine now. I got hit hard by COVID the first time. The first few days were really bad. And I'm like, oh, this is definitely COVID, right? Yeah. Fair enough then. Then the week after that, it's just waiting, for the batteries to kick in. You're like, okay, up and at them, and just nothing happening. So I thought, oh, this could be long COVID where I don't have any of the symptoms, but you still get hit by that. But it's just been going less and less and less. So yesterday, I just woke up, I'm like, God, I'm in a good mood. I'm happy. The sun's out.
You heard Fraser's got COVID now?
I pass on the curse to him. Bless him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Shout out to Fraser. Hope he's doing all right.
Yeah. I spoke to him today. He's feeling rough, but he's got an orange. He'll be fine. That's gonna do. Jack Atkins' advice.
I did follow your advice, by the way.
Wow.
Had Morrison's bring me all these bottles of Lucozade and some oranges.
Yeah, that's all he says. Just like anything, eat an orange, you'll be fine.
He's not wrong. And also joining us this week is lovely Andrew. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much. I was going to ask how you were as well. You look fantastic yesterday, Maffew, by the way. Your hair is looking fantastic.
Thank you. It's a bit Ace Ventura-ish at the
minute.
No,
it looks very good.
An appropriate shirt.
I'm just saying, he looks better. Just say he's been off for 2 weeks, bless him, with the COVID.
Yeah, I need this encouragement, Ross.
Build him back up again, you know what I mean? No, it's lovely.
I feel sad, honestly. It's 100% praise. No, that's good. I'm glad that we're all doing well. And now I'm just on my toes again about, oh, right, COVID is a thing. You just get so used to it not being in your circles. Yeah. It's just for other people, but none of my family had it, none of my friends had it. So I was like, COVID schmovid. And now people keep on getting it again. You're like, oh, it is a recurring thing that we just have to deal with.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough. But I've noticed, though, if you go to people who have had COVID in the past, all you do is spend a lot, you thought it was bad for you, it was bad for me. Oh, hey. And it just becomes this little melting thing, you've had COVID. Oh, we've got so much in common. Do you want to go for a date?
It does seem the strand that's going around at the minute is a pretty bad one, because everyone who's had it here has had it for at least a few days and a bit more, and it's come back in some cases. So
that's the thing. Right now, I'm just appreciating what I've got because it can go any time. It's like a nice metaphor for life, I think.
Yeah.
Don't expect the rest of the podcast to be that deep. But Ross, how the hell are you doing?
I'm fine. Just a bit sunburnt. Went down to Ipswich last weekend. It was 30-odd degrees. Don't deal well with there. Left, I don't know if people know Ipswich Town Centre. Do you know Ipswich Town Centre?
I don't.
It's a Revolution, right? The bar. I went there for a zombie. There wasn't a revolution.
There's a Revolution.
Vive Ipswich. It was one of them. Coming out of the Revolution bar after a lovely zombie, though. I saw in person, for the first time in my life, a naked group cycle.
Oh.
One of those, all over 60, 65. There was 2 ladies there. Must have been about 20 men. I saw each and every one of their dicks apart from one because he had a mankini on.
That was nice of him.
It was nice of him, yeah. So that was a nice day. And I've not stopped thinking about it since. So that's how my week has been.
Is that not illegal?
I don't know, but they were literally on the road, just in a nice line. I think
at least they were orderly, right?
Yeah, I think the man with the mankini was leading the charge, which I thought was a bit disrespectful because he was covering his todge. I mean, get out for his pal, will you? But yeah, saw one of them for the first time, so that was great. All well shaven down there, to be fair to them.
Oh, that's
Must
good.
be using Manscaped, who don't sponsor this podcast.
Well, screw them then.
Should do, because they sponsor every other podcast, don't they? So,
yeah.
So if you've seen an old man's winky, let me know. I'd try and get some interaction going on the comment section down there.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, Ross.
Yeah, just stop me talking now. Andrew, how are you?
Well, I didn't see any old men winkies, unfortunately. But over the weekend, went into town. Me and Joanne just got some donuts and chilled out in the town centre, catching a little bit of the rays. And then it got too much, both being really pasty white people. So we just stayed indoors and played games for the rest of the weekend. And that's literally been me getting back into the swing of things again, because we had 2 pay-per-views back to back, didn't we, for a bit? We had Forbidden Door and the Money in the Bank. Really busy, but then just working on some stuff. It's been nice and quiet for me. What about you, Maffew, other than COVID?
Watching on Deep Space Nine, and finally being Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Oh,
After
very
years
nice.
of just knowing the memes and references, because now it's back. Like COVID, these scoops can come back every few years, Metal Gear Rising. So I played it last night, and I thought that was part of the reason I was so happy, because I'm so hyped for this. I can't wait to be doing it.
It's really good.
Oh,
People
so glad you're on
always...
the podcast, and Ross can just be like, all right,
I
cool.
know.
Yeah.
People put on it, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
It's fantastic. Yes.
Yes.
Even Ross knows.
Beat up all the fellas while listening to some proper,
That's right.
That's right.
I know my games.
Yes.
You're so
All
clever.
that music. That's
right.
fantastic, isn't it?
We said that for any game. FIFA, a bit of that. Anyway, apparently, lots of notes, because you've been doing the news. You did this last week as well. Usually, does this, so we have your news and also the news I have.
I just thought I was, Jack's not here because Jack's on holiday this week. By the way, he's not ill. He's having a great.
yeah, thank you.
I mean, why is he gone? Quite frankly, he should just stay here. The sun's been plentiful here. Why spend all that money going abroad? But he's fine. So I thought, I'm doing all of his notes as well. I might as well just do the full shebang.
Oh, well, that's
as
very
Ricky
nice of
Martin
you.
once said. Shebang.
Shebang. And you meant just a big...
baby, she move.
That's a guilty pleasure of mine, I've got to be honest, that song. I know it's rubbish, but I love it. Anyway, in the news this week, Fightful Select reporting today that non-wrestling organisers, like conventions, etc., inquiring about Mercedes Varnados. Am I getting that right?
Probably.
Yeah,
This is Sasha Banks. Availability were quoted a firm, specific rate. Wrestling promoters, however, were told that she was only taking non-wrestling bookings until January 1st, 2023. Now, it's interesting because Fightful said they're not able to confirm if it's due to contractual obligations or personal reasons. So we still don't know if she's out the company or not. No one's confirmed anything. They really haven't said anything. Raj from...
Raj Giri.
That's him. Said it, but then no one's denied it. No one's able to double confirm it. It's so weird.
It is weird because it literally could go one way or t'other at the moment, because we have seen in the past the WWE superstars are allowed to go on these conventions and whatnot. I don't know which ones they're allowed to do. If this is one of those series, if this is a series of conventions, I don't know. Or this could be a no-compete play here. In January it's up, and then she can take wrestling bookings once again. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Certainly is. It'll probably be finalised by the time this podcast goes out. ESPN former WWE champion Big E considers himself very grateful that doctors have said he will make a complete recovery from a broken neck he suffered during a March match, despite a recent setback that will keep him out the ring for at least a year. Quote, I have no issue whatsoever with Ridge, says Big E. He's reached out and said some very kind things. What we do is dangerous, and that there are inherent dangers. And to that degree, we all kind of know what we sign up for, and it was unfortunate that it went down that way. But I'm not dead. I'm alive. I'm doing well. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Look at that positivity from Big E.
And the gaps have been filled in on his cheeks.
The gaps have been filled in on his cheeks.
His beard connects now.
Does it? Oh, he just needed
Not
a few.
those cheeks, Maffew. What do you like? But we're at the news, obviously. I think it was last week or the week before, where it was like they were going to check what the crack was after 1 year, so next March. So it's good to hear he's going to make a full recovery without the need of surgery and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because there was the talk for a little bit where he was like, oh, it's perhaps not sort of mending as well, or some certain bits weren't fusing as well as they should. Yeah, that's the one, Dr. Ross. Thank you. And obviously, but Big E has just been absolutely just so upbeat about everything, like given the circumstances. So it's really nice to see that things are actually going his way now.
Absolutely.
Happy.
What a ray of sunshine he is.
Yeah.
Karen Cross tells NBC Sports Boston's Steve Fall that there were preliminary discussions about bringing back the corporate ministry. Quote, I had ideas about bringing back the corporate ministry. That was one of my final ideas that I had. I had a series of writers on board for that who thought it was a very good idea. I thought pitching those ideas would be cool because there's some nostalgia to it. We do love that WWE right now. You know, with all these crazy conspiracy theories that are always going around about historic businesses and stuff like that, and cults and evil companies and stuff like that. All right. Thanks, Brian Kendrick. Moving on. Fightful Select notes no further information on the proposed women's tag team tournament, provided those backstage, and that there hasn't been even discussion about the titles since the initial announcement. Many seem to think the titles are goners. Now, on one hand, a lot of people put a lot of prestige in these things for the fact that they exist and think it's a good thing. However, if they're going to show the care of attention that they have shown the last few years, which was every title reign apart from when Bayley and Banks had it, I think it'd be better if it doesn't come back, because I haven't noticed them not being there. And if they're going to treat me like rubbish, then why bring it back?
we've got obviously a history of the company and Vince McMahon himself being quite petty. So I would have thought after what happened with Sasha Banks and Naomi, this would have been the period of time where those women's tag team championships would have been treated like the uwu. But they're not. And I think that speaks volumes because, as you say, apart from that summer of 2020, wasn't it, during lockdown, they just haven't given a toss about them whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
So they probably are better off just not being there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. What do you reckon to them? Perhaps maybe like just merging the main roster tag belts and the NXT women's tag belts together,
No.
and then being able to like go back and forth between the
Don't you
brands.
muddy the crystal clear waters of NXT 2.0 with
Wait,
its main
but what
roster
happened this
riff-raff.
week? What happened this week with the women's tag team titles?
What happened this week, Andrew?
Well, the women's tag team,
I'll tell you what
one of them
happened.
turned on the other one.
That Triple H has come back to work and he's ruined everything. I'm joking, everybody. I'm joking.
He's not.
But you've made a good point.
Thank you.
While Santana appears to be counting down the days until his AEW deal is up on Twitter. Has he really?
Just tweets
Keeps
numbers,
posting 100 and whatever days. Keep going down.
I even
down,
noticed
down.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. Conan has claimed on the Keeping It 100 podcast that Santana and Ortiz, quote, are not on good terms. What? The pair haven't had a 2-on-2 tag team match since losing to La Rebellion Amarillo. This is best you see. Oh, whatever, doesn't care. At LAWE Ascendia on February 19th. Have they not had a proper tag match since then?
No.
I did that myself. I looked at Cage match and did all the buttons and whatnot, and that's the February the 19th was the last 2-on-2 tag team match, and it wasn't even for AEW. So I guess there's some credence to this quote here from Conan.
Yeah, how would you be like, oh, Conan's talking, come on, but
He's their
he's got
father.
he's got evidence to back it up.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough then.
It's
Oh,
weird doing it
that's
because
so weird.
Yeah, because you just the way they have been like for the longest time that we've known them, they've just been like you would think they were like literally brothers.
Yeah.
But then you realise, they haven't actually done wrestling like 2-on-2 for a little while, so maybe there is something to this. I don't know why Conan would lie, but
Well,
things have happened, haven't they, in the past?
All wrestlers lie. But we'll see.
we'll see.
If one of them's tweeting about when he's leaving,
It's a shame
That's a
that
weird
they
thing.
should have helped. We all say this, they
I
should
mean-
have held the tag team titles at least once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
We had that little bit as well. Do you remember for Blood and Guts where they were doing the promo? And I can't remember who it was who said it, but they mentioned Eddie Kingston's got like Ruby. Oh, it was Ruby Soho. She was like, he's got Claudio and he's got Ortiz, but there was no mention of Santana at all
I
about
didn't
him
pick
being his
that up.
friend or anything like
okay.
that. So that was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Poirot sat here.
wow.
Hello, it is me, Poirot, on my butt. What?
I thought he was on the trains, didn't he?
I'm sure there's one where he's on the Nile. He's on the Nile on one
Yeah,
of them.
that's right.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Can't take a train down the Nile.
You could
He
try.
tried. I tried, but it's murder. Paul White has told Wrestling Inc. Captain Insano will be back.
Yes.
The guy who wrote The Water Boy has approved. Tony Khan and I have secured the rights to Captain Insano. I remember this being a thing ages ago. There's already an outfit made, the whole 9 yards. We're doing a lot of prep work, and this will be my last hurrah, so to speak. What do you mean your last? You've already had one hurrah. Let's be honest, I don't think this character is going to be a killer going out there trying to beat John Moxley for the AEW World title. At this point, I think this character is just to have fun. We'll see how it goes, but for me right now, this is just a chance to have fun with this character and be a bright spot on the show. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see how everybody takes off with it.
Bollocks to him being a babyface if that happens or when it happens. He just needs to be going around and laughing
You're
at all the
laughing at
fans.
everyone, right?
Yes.
Pathetic messes that we are.
I want to see him go against John Moxley now. Do you I can't remember if like one of his catchphrases is Captain Insano shows no mercy or something. Like, why? Just absolutely have a death match with John Moxley. I want to see that. I want to see that.
So do I now, you said it. Yeah.
Hey, John Moxley, how old are you? Why? Ah! Just laughs before he says something. According to the Tribune in India, the great Kali has been accused of slapping a toll worker in, here we go, Lithuania, I think, following an argument. A video of the incident shows Kali arguing with the toll workers, but no alleged slap is shown in the video. Kali on Instagram typed, "Hello, friends. Yesterday, while going to Connell, toll tax employee of Filar stopped my car and misbehaved for a selfie. When I denied the selfie, he ruthlessly passed racist, turn the page, comments. Also used bad words. That's all I want to say. Thank you." And then it's that. So, namaste. Okay. Great Khali beat up people.
I know, I saw the headline on
does he do the
Fightful
job?
the other day and I got excited thinking, I can't wait to see Great Khali just slap some toll worker around. And he put the video on, and they've blocked the road off, so he can't get his car through, which I guess is why they want to get the signature. Just go to that sort of length to get the... And he just gets out and just moves the thing. Yeah. And he just like sort of goes like that to one of the toll workers who tries to stop him to move the barricade they've built. So I don't know what to make of this. Obviously, it's terrible if they've done the things he's alleged there. So
it's difficult because it looks like the video starts halfway through, obviously, this altercation. Right. So we don't really know the full context of what's going on. But just the fact that Carly gets out of the car and moves the thing is the best.
Like, stay back, and just moves the That's as far as it goes.
That's so good.
Yeah. Natalia No Cellgate. Matt Kemp, I think, on YouTube uploads video of Natalia pointing her finger aggressively towards Liv Morgan immediately after eating the pinfall in the match against the new SmackDown Women's Champion. In a now deleted tweet, Natalie said, "I'm breaking character right now. I actually said thank you, if you must know." I saw this, and it's so weird whenever there's like anything involved with women's wrestler, suddenly there's essays being written, people analysing frame via frame. If you look here at frame 34, Natalia blinks. How disrespectful. But it is weird because I didn't look at that and think it was anything out of the ordinary until people make up their own little narrative for it.
Wait, nah, she took the finisher and then like half a second after the three counts been hit, she goes up and then rolls out the ring. She no-sold it, Maffew. Let's not, we can defend the lady
she went,
when it's warranted.
You're pretty good.
Not deep for no reason. There was something weird happened there. Something happened during that match.
Yeah.
And that upset Natalia and she went at the end of the thing. So, I don't know. I thought there was something to it personally.
You know what was going on through her head? I can't believe I lost. I'll get you next time.
I'm selling on you.
I was saying on the news, because she did that interview with Ariel Helwani before the last pay-per-view. Money in the Bank, that's what it was. And she was saying she's been everyone's best friend for all that time in the company, and she's been doing the right thing for the company, being the company gal. Now it's time for her to be selfish and whatnot for the betterment of her career. So I was like, oh, she's just doing it now. Doing the old Austin Aries routine from back in the day. That'll get her some checks and championships. Yeah, she's controlling her narrative.
That's right, in an untelevised house show. Natalia's like, now's the time. Damn it, one guy filmed it. Oh, well. Tony Khan shuts down Danielson return. Speaking of New York's Post, Joseph Staszewski. I had talked to Danielson on Wednesday. We were in St. Louis for Road Rager, and I talked to Brian. Brian was like, I feel effing great. I'm ready to come back, and I'm going to fight Zack Sabre. And we're going to do blood and guts. Let's effing go, man. When I talked to him the Saturday, 8 days before the pay-per-view, he's not doing as well. So immediately he was like, you're not wrestling. If you're not feeling great 8 days out, I don't care if you have 7 straight days. I'm shutting you down until further notice. He has scans coming up. I'm like, I don't care what they say. They could be perfectly clear. Yeah.
That's amazing. Brian Danielson was wanting to go and they just shut him down completely, which is good news to hear, obviously.
That's very good.
It's good to see the improvement from AEW from the last time when it was a big hoo-hoo about when Matt Hardy took that horrible bump and they went, Matt Hardy, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Well, I said he's fine. It's like, no. Someone needs to be Big Daddy Tony.
Yeah,
go, no, son, I'm deciding you're not doing it.
I feel, I think it's a really good thing, but as well, because I feel like Danielson would be that kind of person with his leg off. Like his leg would be dangling off him, but I feel fine, I'll go fight now.
And Jack Atkins would appear, eat an orange, Brian. You'll be fine.
Pouring Lucozade on it to watch it heal up.
Yeah. The Black Knight from Monty Python. It's fine. It's fine.
But no, it's good to hear that this kind of thing, a lot of thought goes into it, and to stop any further damage happening. It's nice.
It's like a Cultaholic as well. It's like, look, I'm sneezing, I'm not feeling too good. No, get the hell out.
Get away from me.
Stay home.
Do not show up. People Insider, Curtis, Axel, and Davari have been relieved of their producer duties.
You'll never guess why, Maffew.
The quote from Cultaholic.com, not sure what the source is. The prevailing belief, quote, is the pair were released due to budget cuts.
And
there was no word on if either man we brought back into WWE at some point, nor if there are any more backstage releases planned.
Who is Vince McMahon paying off now to warrant 2 salaries going like that? Because I know that people, shops like Argos and whatnot bring in shift workers at Christmas time because obviously the demand's a lot busier and whatnot. So maybe they've done that there for WrestleMania season with those 2. I guess it just ended. I don't know how long they've been there, but I think they were in for WrestleMania just to help with the workload. So I don't know if it is anything to report about, but it is weird how they would cite budget cuts, whatever source cited that.
Yeah.
It's bollocks, isn't it?
They've always said that. It's like, but it came up record highs during the COVID period, and he went, well,
that's his reasoning. Yeah. Well,
Nick Khan's like, I've been told to get the money up, so that's what we're doing. All right, Davari was also, whilst being a WWE producer, appearing on AEW.
Yeah.
which was fascinating.
Yeah.
He's probably, no, I'm a producer for this company, but I can wrestle for the other one. It's
Well, they don't know what-
I'm sure that won't affect or annoy anybody in the slightest by doing that. I mean, God knows what goes.
They don't know what's going on, do they? Because Progress, they've got a go-go on there, haven't they, every single time now? AEW's a go-go and Progress is on the network.
But then that gets cut out.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
so does
They
Gresham.
don't know whether
That's
S
weird,
or
isn't
wind
it?
their watch, do they? As Stone Cold might
Yeah.
say. That's one of his catchphrases, which I don't understand. He didn't know whether to S or wind his watch. What? S-H-I-T.
Oh.
We're on YouTube now.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I wonder what you meant. Like, you just go or wind his watch instead. Like,
Yeah,
what?
it just makes a noise that often.
Yeah.
I'm Sammy Snake. What?
No. Ava Ryan. Was it Ava Rain, I think?
Averine, I
Is
like
it
to
right?
call her.
Yeah.
Lovely Cockney lass.
Averine?
Averine? Oh, right there. Averine, here. I'm the final girl, and I'm the daughter of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Big news, though. She cut her first ever promo in
did, yeah.
an NXT live event. Apparently, Tom was saying on the news video the day that people took to Twitter and went, maybe this wrestling thing isn't for her after her first
I
ever
know.
live promo.
Come on.
Like I said, overanalyzing women's wrestling.
It's like Dwayne The Rock himself. Yeah, he took a couple of years to find his stride, but after one promo, that's it. Get her out of there.
Rhea Ripley, this headline is from The Metro. Oh, no. Rhea Ripley shares natural selfie with a heart monitor after confirming brain and teeth injuries. She last wrestled on June 6, kneeing herself in the head quite brutally and strolling to the outside. And as a result, needed dental surgery. Has been out of action with brain and teeth injuries since then. Over the weekend, she shared a selfie of herself without her trademark hair dye or makeup. Said showing fans a temporary heart monitor she's worn during her time away.
Mad,
Bloody
that,
hell.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's such an innocent-looking bump as well.
Until she kneed herself in the mouth.
Yeah.
Right?
A foot, mad how it happened, isn't it? How a foot just bounced off the bottom rope and kneed herself
Yep.
down. She's got dental, brain, and a bloody heart monitor now. I don't know what the heart monitor is for, so.
Probably the heart.
Cheers, Maffew.
Sorry. But yeah, God, I hope she's doing all right. The Netflix documentary series on Vince McMahon has been cancelled, which doesn't make a lot of sense because, well, there's plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, were they like, oh, now's not the time. We're not going to get any ratings or hits from this.
Yeah, just
Like-
get the dark side of the ring, lads, on the blower. I know they were meant to be working with the company, weren't they?
Yeah,
But
they
let's,
were.
Let's sever that tie. Let's forget about money and real life implications. Let's just sever that tie and make the documentary everyone wants to see.
Yes, please.
Yeah. John Cena will not be wrestling at SummerSlam 2022, even though they hinted heavily that they were going to have an Austin Theory match. Cena has said he's going to be doing Peacemaker Season 2 instead.
Is that good, is it?
I haven't. I've heard it.
Everyone's told me it is, just
Yeah,
haven't
everyone
watched
says
it.
it's really good. I haven't watched it.
He's a real life
finished watching-
superhero.
He is. Why?
stop
you still
it.
keep bringing that up.
Also, Io Shirai, Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer, you may have heard of him, said that she's pretty much got her foot out the door. She's pretty much gone. And then Io tweeted something along the lines of, lol, rumors.
Yeah, it was angry.
It was rumors with the sick emoji.
Yeah, because apparently she wants to go. This is what Meltzer was saying last week, that she's going back to Japan to be closer to her family or something like that.
Yeah.
And obviously because her contract's run out, whereas Kairi Sane's was still running, so they made her an ambassador.
An ambassador, yeah.
For a similar sort of reason, she'd just be cut free and doing whatever she wanted. So I think she should go. I think as much as we love NXT 2.0, Maffew, I reckon Io Shirai is maybe a step above.
Just maybe. Just maybe.
I saw on Twitter, right, doing the rounds, was that was I think one of the moves from back in day where it was like the backflip stomp, like the moonsault stomp off the top rope. She's bloody good.
Bodie Hayward can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that like that. Bodie Hayward. Bodie.
That's how the Rock's daughter says it. And finally, we have the big week of wrestling news. Wrestle Economics or WrestleNomics. I can't remember how they do their name.
I bet WrestleNomics.
Yeah.
Did a lovely little YouTube video discussing a lot of how the WWE video library gets put together on the different old companies and video, all these extensive libraries that they get hold of. Did reveal that apparently the reason why there's so little Georgia Championship Wrestling footage was because allegedly, as soon as Ole Anderson heard the news that Vince McMahon had bought the tape library from them, he went out in his backyard and burned all the master tapes.
Oh my god.
That's not like him.
That doesn't sound like Ole Anderson at all.
You seem like such a well-mannered, measured human being.
Just a reminder, when they put the Four Horsemen in, we're doing the stables in the Hall of Fame, they made sure, even though Ole Anderson was in the very first version, they did like the second or third one with Barry Windham. It's like, no, Ole, no.
He would have took a dump on the stage, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Mate, just for the crack.
That would have been good though.
Give him a live mic in just 10 seconds.
He's still going, isn't he? What's he doing
Still
these
alive.
days?
Being miserable.
Just being miserable.
Just held together with hate.
The only thing I've seen of him like in recent years is that shoot interview where he's in his grumpy chair, just doing a shoot interview like an old man
I
would
think I've
do.
seen that actually. Yeah.
He's asking. There's one he did with Rob Feinstein. God, I'm sorry to bring his name up, but he just kept on saying like, who was the owner of this? And Rob's just not used to what he's saying. It's like this, and the guy's like getting mad. He's like, "No, you idiot!" Just schooling him on. He's trying to make a point. He's like, right? And the guy's like,
I've just realised they might have based Angry Feral on in AEW off Foley. He's living in Cody's garden with a fire.
"Oh God, I've only done this. What are you burning? Oh, nothing." He's got Georgia tape. Well, there's a lot of other news to go through, but we'll talk that through the rest of this podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's go on to the next segment.
Yeah.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
Now it's time for everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. And I say everyone's favourite segment, I did get told via the grapevine, aka my Twitch chat, that apparently people have been fuming on the Patreon polls when my animal pics have been up.
There was 2 comments last week.
Oh, 2.
But those 2 comments, Maffew, and I don't want to, this is heavy stuff, this. They both had 4 likes. So there's the potential for 10 people to have taken umbrage with your animal pics week on week on week. So just consider that this week.
I love that.
They might lynch you.
Yeah. I love that on a poll where there's different things to vote for. They complain about one of the picks. I'm like, then vote for one of the other ones. But I love that. You know what? That sounds like wrestling fans. Happy to have you. In condescending order from last week, Jack Atkins bringing Hasbulla, am I getting the name right?
Yeah.
I know who it is. To the office at 24%. I've seen a little...
The little lad.
Sandy.
He's
Yeah.
going.
His little lad. His little boy. Apparently his girlfriend won him at a raffle or something and he brought him in to act as security for the office.
Like actual Hasbulla. You wouldn't even know.
Yeah, just the real boy, just in cardboard form.
That's 24%. The Noble Caps Lock Key, 32%.
Big controversy.
But clear winner, Curly Whirly Chocolate Bars. Ooh, 44%.
Wally.
Little chocolate ladders.
I forget, just because I used to just love hearing Fraser say Curly Whirly in his lovely, his lovely accent. And I don't know how that led to Adam getting him a box of Curly Whirlies, but it did. But we had a stock of Curly Whirlies upstairs for the longest time. They ran out last week. Fraser was having one a day. I had 2 before I realised they were gone. I was devastated.
One a day. No wonder he's sick. They're massive.
Right, little them. But I just forgot how good they were, so I was like, they deserve to go.
Wait, are they like...
Do you remember how big they
long.
used to be?
They've got.
They were like rulers,
Oh,
weren't
it's
they?
just when we sound like really old people. Hey, I remember Curly
in my
Whirlies.
day. Back in
But
my
weren't they
day.
like dead? They were like a ruler before.
Yeah.
They must have been a good 27.
Yeah.
I'd say.
They
But
must have
now,
been.
now they're more like a 15, I'd say.
they really?
Yeah, just like them little sharing.
There
Yeah.
were things like, if you had to escape from prison, you just get 5 of them and tape them up and you get on the drain pipe.
Fraser puts them in the fridge, I think he said last week, which I don't agree with.
I do.
Did he say that, Dan? Have I misremembered that? Someone put them in the fridge.
You
But
put
anyway.
them in the fridge.
No, you
You
don't.
put them in
man.
the
You want
fridge.
you want the caramel inside to be nice and soft.
But like, cold chocolate though. Oh, it's so good.
yeah, but you've hardened the caramel.
I quite like that though. I'm a monster.
You are a
I'm
monster.
a monster.
See, my mate went the other direction and he would put Snickers, mini Snickers, in the freezer.
In the freezer.
You put the window out with them.
I think, you had to wait until take your molars out. But when it's, when you get coffee is too hot to drink to begin with. You have to wait for it to cool down. It was like that almost. You had a lot of comfort waiting for it to heat up.
Oh, okay.
It's got his thermometer out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's one of the ones that you push it in the eye in the
It's
barbecue.
rich -6. It's time.
Anyway, Curly Whirly Chocolate Bar is a good pick there. No animals involved in that whatsoever. Who was it? Was it yourself?
It was me.
Fantastic.
It was nice,
You can
so-
lead the charge, like the Light Brigade, into this week's Hall of Fame segment. What have you got for us?
Well, I like a wrestling theme. I do. An entrance theme. And there's a new theme hit the airwaves this week, which has blown me away. And I tweeted last night that along with Daft Punk's new single, Get Lucky, it's the sound of the summer for 2022. And it's Angelico's new theme. I said Angelica there.
From Rugrats.
From Rugrats, yeah. Angelica from Rugrats' new theme. And it's called Voel Die Vibe Van Dag, which obviously must be some sort of South African thingy. I don't know what the right word is there. I do apologise to any South Africans watching. But it is amazing. It debuted on this week's Dark Elevation. I forget which one it was. And Taz and Excalibur were blown away by it. And then one of them said, we have to shut up and just listen to this. And they did so. But it's fantastic. I don't know how to describe it. It sounds like it came out in 1998 to me. But it's like a nice chill. Sorry for touching you there, Maffew. But it goes well with his,
Like Great Carly.
Doesn't it?
His
He's got
feng shui.
his jacket on and everything, like coming down to the ring.
But
Very good.
it's a theme that immediately, in my eyes, elevates Angelico to at least the All Atlantic Championship level.
Oh,
It's that good. They've only put the first bit. I say bit, the first couple of minutes on YouTube, so the full version is not yet out there as we're sat here now. But I can't wait for it to be so.
So that was made specifically for him. That's not a song beforehand, because it sounds like a properly developed song.
I've said that with great confidence, Andrew, but I don't know.
Okay, no. We'll soon find out.
You see, Mr. Ruckus of AEW was hitting his stride with the themes, I think.
Yeah.
He's getting into that Jim Johnston territory where the theme fits the wrestler, rather than going, oh, YouTube Music Library. That one will do. Go on then.
It's like with their backstage AEW. That's a good pick because he's got a fresh paint of lick, as Bruce Pritchard likes to say, where given that Jack Evans has gone, and now it's like, all right, Angelico, still like you. You're all fully recovered. It's a new theme.
Oh, he's unique as well. Get him on there and that theme just to hear it every week.
Yeah.
Dead good.
That's what we think we're like after a few zombies. Down Ipswich Town.
What are zombies? Is that the one with the cream in it?
No.
What's that one called?
I don't even know what's in it, to be honest with you. I just like it. What's in a zombie?
I thought it was one where it was like cream in a thing.
It's just pictures of zombies.
What is? Yeah,
it's a mythical undead corp.
Might need to narrow it down. Let's have a look.
People are going mad in the comments here. A zombie, it's red, not orange, so we'll go with this one here. A zombie, a tiki drink by legendary bartender. I don't care who it's by, just what's in it.
It's nice to put the author of the
three different rums: Jamaican, Puerto Rican, and 151 proof.
Bloody hell!
Fresh lime juice, Falinum grenadine. That's where it's at, grenadine, and a few drops of anisey flower liqueur,
flavored liqueur.
Don's mix. His semen.
Don.
But apparently it's by legendary bartender and restaurateur Don Beach of Don the Beachcomber. So we learnt there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they send you west, though. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's what you want from a cocktail.
2 or 3 of them, and you're a bit like, hoo-hoo.
Can you taste the alcohol, or is it one of them ones that's deadly,
you taste the
where you
alcohol.
just neck it back?
It's one of those ones like the Tomahawk Sour at Tomahawk Steakhouse here in Newcastle that gets my face going. And everyone thinks I'm having a bad time, but it's not just the taste sensation. My mouth is in 6s and 7s. I just don't know which way to go. So I'm always like, it's a fantastic drink.
Lovely.
Fully recommend.
So that was Angelico's new theme with a side of zombie.
Yes. Voel die Vibe Van Dag. There it is.
Nice.
That's the title.
Beautiful.
Got it.
I'm glad you said it, not me. Okay. Andrew, I'll go next.
So mine is, again, it was one of those ones where I sit there and go, what am I going to nominate for the Hall of Fame, knowing that I'm going to be on the podcast this week? And just scrolling through my phone, what we're going to go for. And then I come across a man who is a hero in Yorkshire. One half of the Chuckle brothers, if anybody knows the Chuckle, if the American audience, the American audience might not know who the Chuckle brothers is.
over there, they would have seen them.
But Paul Chuckle's Instagram is just a treasure trove of incredible stuff. Dan, if you could pull up the Instagram page now. Paul living his best life these days, right? Obviously, Barry Chuckle, rest in peace, God bless his soul. He passed away a few years ago. And since then, Paul, but I'm not saying this is directly involved in because Barry has passed away, but Paul is now living his absolute best life. He's a DJ, and he does all these DJ sets. Look at that. Thank you, Dan, for circling that right there. He plays these DJ sets. I think he's playing in Leeds soon as well. But he's just having an absolute whale. Look at him there with our Liz. He's just having a whale of a time. And I was thinking, when I'm older, I hope to have a life like Paul Chuckle when I'm older.
That apron,
now there's one, Dan, if you can keep scrolling, I just want to see one of him just having a wonderful time eating Kit Kats. You might. Oh, actually, Dan, can you? Oh, you won't be able to. You can't click on him, can you? You're not logged in. That's all right, Dan. Keep going down. Oh, actually, there's no point if you can't see me eating the Kit Kats. But basically, if you want a treasure trove of incredible stuff that you can sit there and watch for hours on end, and I'm talking hours on end, then go on Paul Chuckles' Instagram page, and it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm
Do
not
you know
lying.
it's Paul Chuckles' Instagram?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. It's one of
And
those-
just
oh,
watch some of some of the crowds he's actually got. Is
We obviously
DJ
it's
booths.
Paul Chuckles.
It's mental, and he makes his own music in that as well, which you can check out. on
If Ross
Spotify.
came to me and went, Maffew, do you fancy going to a rave? I'm like, I'm pretty tired. It's like, Paul Chuckles DJ, and I'll be all right.
Right?
just saying,
Oh,
right,
well,
let's go.
this is a conversation I've been having with many people around the office because this Christmas time, Martin Kemp, you know Martin Kemp, of
course we do.
off the adverts for the sofas and EastEnders and Spandau Ballet.
You said the so far, but first.
It's a young audience there, Maffew. He's coming to Newcastle and he's performing an 80s Christmas Bonanza DJ set
Ooh.
at Wyland Brewery. And I want to
Okay.
go, me.
What date is that? Do you know?
I think it's December the 18th, or I could be wrong. So it's
we should
proper
go.
Christmas time.
But wait, is that not just all the bloody Christmas songs we're going to be hearing anyway?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the
But he'll be
intrigue.
there though.
But it's
That's
Martin Kemp will be there going like, giving it the big one.
That's what you
Snorting
want.
lines and all sorts. It'll be great.
Driving home for Christmas. That's not nice. I'll get rid of the snow. Oh, thanks, Martin.
There you go. Martin Kemp's Ultimate Xmas
Look at him.
something. 18th of December 2022. I got it right. Nailed it in one.
I hope Phil Mitchell's going to be there.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
You don't want
get him
to
there.
steal Martin's.
Thunder. You can't steal Martin's thunder though.
But I was like, just the scenes at this get together at Wyland Brewery, especially, what a beautiful setting that'll be in the middle of winter.
I want to go. I don't know when the Paul Chuckle one is either, but if it's on a decent day, I actually kind of want to go. It's in
Do
Leeds.
you have any idea what songs he plays? Or
I think he plays a mixture of like his own stuff and then some like old club
It's house,
bangers.
though,
His-
isn't it?
wait,
Yeah,
what's,
yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
what's his own stuff?
It's like house, yeah, but it's just got him over top going to me.
Oh, okay, right,
But
right.
he's down with the kids, isn't he? Because remember a couple of years ago when Barry and Paul did the song with Tinchy Strider?
Yes,
Was
of
it
course.
Tinchy? It
Yeah.
was, wasn't it? To
Oh
me.
dear.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, it's bad.
That was amazing, that moment.
Yeah.
It's not a
It's like
moment.
Jericho wrestling Ricky Steamboat. Just, yeah. Yeah, that's a lovely pick.
Thank
It's just
you.
weird, though, whenever I see him, all I think of now is not the childhood stuff or even to me, to you, the game show. It's him when he was carrying the coffin. It's just one of these
Oh,
images. It's
yeah.
just like, I'm never going to be able to unsee this.
I think that's the thing as well, because obviously when that happened, obviously he lost his brother and everything, and it looked as though he might genuinely never recover from that loss. And now you see him on Instagram, he's in a good place.
He's happy for
He's
him. I
happy.
get you.
And
Aw.
and we couldn't see any of the videos on the thing there, but it's doing a disservice. So you've got to go, genuinely got to go to the Instagram page and watch his videos. Fantastic.
Oh, like that lovely advert.
Yeah.
I can already see him eating
How
a
much he
Kit Kat
paid you
later
for
on.
that?
No.
My pick for Hall of Fame is not an animal. I know, right? Ooh. See, you give him 1 week of out, it's come back to annoy him
just
next
one.
week. 13 weeks of animals follow. This week, you know how it's just me? This lovely feeling you get where there's a clip going viral online and you go, whatever, I don't want to have to see all these street fights or anything like that. And you have another closer look and you go, oh, hang on, that's in Newcastle. There's this warm, lovely feeling of going, people are seeing our area. That's where we live. Yay. Can you please go to the link I sent you on Twitter? It's very simple, very quick. It's outside Bar Loco, and it just has where's the caption? Some of the lines of, I can't believe this guy's tried doing a Superman punch. IRL. Here we go. There's a lot of stuff going on.
That
Stay
looks like
away.
Shane McMahon,
So,
that.
here we go.
got
him.
It's very-
Wait, Corey Graves didn't get all of it. Thanks,
I was
Corey.
going to say it's very reminiscent of Scott Steiner trying to get Tess from behind.
Oh,
So
yeah.
just stop it. There's a lot of stuff going on. If you look here, I think he works for Bar Loco, which is a fine establishment, by the way. Lots of ball games and making music. He tries to block it. He intercepts it. It's
Okay,
fantastic.
slow motion.
While he's got,
Frame by
he's
frame.
got all these
Boots him up the
Oh, he
arse.
boots him.
all the glass in his hands already. So with his little foot trips him, and then there we go. There we go. Like Superman falling to earth.
He's done that, by the way, that deft trip up there with how many? Three
there's-
bottles in one
He's
hand
got
and 2
yeah.
pints in the other.
Yeah.
No,
There's no
really,
place like
Dexterity
Newcastle.
on that. The multitasking on that lad.
That's not the first time he's done that.
Gotcha.
There's no place like Newcastle.
Can we go back a little bit? Does he just off the whim, or is he already kind of like? Oh, it's premeditated.
He
It
sees
is
him coming.
premeditated. Yeah.
But
yeah.
who's he going for?
Not the guy in the
looks like-
shades, but the guy who comes into shot in a second.
Yeah. Because
So he's using his mate to. It's like Jeff Hardy alley-ooping over one.
Yeah.
So, I
imagine
don't
being
like half his age.
I was just saying, imagine if he connected, then started doing like Jeff Hardy's hair.
climbs on top of Barlow, ready for Swanton.
It's just so great because a Superman punch, I think I've seen somebody like in MMA do it, and if you actually do it properly, I can do it. But this is not the situation in a proper street fight, as if this grown man has just done a Superman punch, crying.
Fantastic.
But my mate, I've said this before, my mate who used to really enjoy fighting because he was a big lad, so to really, him recovering from a big fight, like recovering from a bit of a drink. So do you want to go out and, start something? I'm like, no. But he said one time he was in this pub with some mates, and fast forward, some argy-bargy kicked off. But he, without even realizing, some guy grabbed him from behind, put his arm on the shoulder like that. So because he'd seen it in so many films, he went like this. And in the films, when Jackie Chan does it, the guy's like, knocked out and falls on the floor. When he did it, the guy went, and then punched him in the back of the head.
That's phenomenal.
So I like just some people go, no, I've seen this on TV, right? I'll use me mate and I'll Superman punch you. The victory, and he's already playing the victory celebrations. His head's mate's going, that was amazing, mate. But yeah, so that's that lad trying to Superman punch in real life in Newcastle.
That's good.
That's the important thing.
Fantastic.
Also, there was a dog in the background.
Oh.
But yeah, those are 3 picks in your picks alone. Just to reiterate, we have Angelico's brand new theme. You put the name down there. I'm sure you've already typed it up.
Yeah, with that title I've not got in front of me at the moment.
Fantastic. Paul Chuckles' Instagram.
Yep.
And a guy trying to Superman punch IRL.
Yes.
If you'd like to vote for any of these fantastic picks, don't worry, you can. I go to patreon.com/Cultaholic and place your votes there.
This week in the wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
This week in wrestling. And you carried on Jack's wacky titles. That's
did the
great. Look at
titles.
you.
I forgot for AEW and NXT, but for the first half, we're there.
There we go. Let's try and do anything but lay at the SmackDown. Oh, that's good because not a lot of wrestling on the show.
No, not at all.
No. They said on the first match on AEW Rampage had more time wrestling than the combined amount of wrestling on this episode of SmackDown.
Bloody hell.
Roman Reigns turns up to work before he can cut a promo on a bitch. Mr. Money in the Bank Austin Theory is seen stalking his potential prey. Why would you type it like that? Roman says as long as God wakes him up, he can handle anything. I love that line, by the way.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic line. Roman has had a good day, but then he saw Paul Heyman's face, looking like a slapped ass. Paul says he loves Roman and the Usos, but they have a problem, and that problem's name is Brock Lesnar. Paul thinks Roman is going to need to be really good to beat Brock at SummerSlam, but he says this is the greatest hype man performance since Kevin Hart's role in Scary Movie 3.
Yeah. So I wrote it down quite succinctly there, but the way he did it, it was the greatest hype man performance since Kevin Hart's role in Scary Movie 3.
It's funny watching that film back and going, he was just a guy at that point.
was,
Like, wow. Theory then goes for a run around the ring. Thanks, Theory, for contributing there.
That was weird.
You know what? Roman Reigns, fantastic in this. Always good to be bothers to show up. Bless him. Paul Heyman, one of the best of all time on the microphone. Nothing on earth can get me hyped for this match again.
No, and we've already heard like Paul do this this promo before as well.
Yeah.
But granted, it's still amazing, right? But at the same time, yeah, like you said, there's just no hype behind it because we've seen it multiple times at this point.
It was a really slow start of the show as well, because I counted this week, and it was just over 10 minutes before Roman Reigns said, Fort Worth, acknowledge me. 10 whole minutes had gone by for an entrance.
They do that now.
Terrible,
That's
isn't it?
now the structure. Person makes their entrance, they stay in the ring, and they'll show adverts or they'll show previews or music video or anything, and the guys be like,
Yeah, just stand there.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Weird.
Paul's got so much doubt in his mind as well after what happened at WrestleMania. Let's not forget what happened at WrestleMania, by the way. The tribal chief took down the Beast Incarnate with a plumb, and he took himself
With a plum?
with a plumb.
Oh, that's nice.
And he took himself 3-2 up in the big singles match feud. They've had 5 so far, and Roman's won 3. That would have been a nice place to end it, but no, we're back here again.
Yeah.
Injuries, obviously, but you know.
yeah. Trevor, have you seen The Boys?
I haven't.
One of the key things of the latest season has been, bringing back this old legend to take on the current new dude. So I'm just like, oh, we're emulating that now. I told you boys, taking on Homelander. Just literally Brock Lesnar because there's no one else. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, you're right. Roman Reigns, him doing his work, fantastic. And I can't wait for him to talk more. But again, it's Lesnar versus Roman. It's been microwaved 3 times now. Needs to be in the bin, not in your stomach.
Yeah.
The new vicious Viking Raiders see off Jinder and Shanky in a double quick speed. You're right, 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
Jinder takes a powerbomb. Shanky gets distracted by dancing. After the bell, the NVVR beat down their opponents before New Day come out and twerk their cheeks while making a Simpsons reference before presenting ass-beaten tickets that only got them another ass-beaten dancer. So they come out and goes, but we have official ass-beaten tickets.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think other asses beaten.
I mean, that's what they bought the ticket for. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like, wow, they really
what it's
worked.
I was shocked to see this one end a bit early as it did, because I thought, obviously, I can't believe I'm saying this, Jinder and Shanky had some momentum behind them. Because they have been on television. That's why the momentum comes from there. Yeah. I'm sick of Shanky. I hate him. I hate him. I know he's trying his best with the role he's been given, and the role he's been given is bollocks.
Yep.
But he's terrible at it. So if he's terrible at it, let's stop it. And I will stop hating him.
Okay. But
the contempt I have for Shanky now when he appears.
He's just having fun.
He's not though, is he? He's
I guess
dying inside. You can tell.
He probably is, actually. I guess he actually is. Xavier Woods there, calling his own bum thick AF. I was pretty... There was a few choice words throughout WWE this week in which I was like, oh, do they usually say things like that? I feel like they don't, do they?
To be fair, is he lying?
I mean, he's not lying.
He's
and I'm not saying
Your
that
Honor,
he is
Your
lying.
Honor.
I'm just saying.
I just want to say for the record, that man is thick
AF. He is.
The good part about this, though, is seeing the name's crap, the new Vicious Viking Raiders. Because I was saying last week, imagine them going, because you imagine in kayfabe, they would go up to the promoter and go, we've got a new name. It's the new Vicious Viking Raiders because we're new and vicious. But they're looking good, though, aren't they? It's back to like War Machine sort of vibes, apart from the mascara.
Yeah.
You are right, Ross. They are looking good and they're getting built up because God knows the SmackDown Tag Division needs a new vicious team. Possibly Vikings, and they raid. However, there was zero pop.
Yeah.
There was nothing. So they need to do more than beat up. Maybe they should keep on beating up Shanky. Every week they keep on doing this. I'll get something out of them.
It's obviously why they've been around for that many years and done bugger all. And they obviously had that feud with the Usos as well recently where they couldn't beat them for love no money or taffy or anything like that.
It looked like, to the honest human eye, all right, these guys are out the door then. After taking one move from Omos. So
instead of putting the new Vicious... Instead of putting the new Vicious on the front of them, just get rid of the Viking bit, rid of the Raider bit, give them something just more generic, just so they can go out there and just kick ass and take names.
Thank you for that, Ross. Pat McAfee is not at the show because Happy Corbin beat his ass after Money in the Bank went off the air. Corbin takes a seat at the commentary table as we learn Pat is playing golf and wasn't allowed to be on the show by the medical team.
What? Did they have to say that? Did they have to say the golf bit?
He's well enough to go to the UFC and have a drink. And now 5 days on, he's not well enough to come back to work. That seems suspect to me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, a lot more work done on commentary than playing golf.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
As my dad used to say, golf is a good walk spoiled.
I think Winston Churchill said that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, my mum.
Oh, wait, you thought you...
Is that your
My mum's just been saying all the time, oh, your dad used to say that about golf. Maybe my dad's Winston Churchill.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, you know. Didn't want to bring this up, but... Anyway, this means that Corbin joins us on commentary. But even worse than that, Corey Graves replacing Pat. Corbin, the number one heel on SmackDown. Gunther hosts an open challenge for his IC title, but then he doesn't.
Yeah.
Ludwig says there is no one worthy of stepping in the ring with Gunther. Gunther says any champion who defends their title against someone they don't know is a fool. Nakamura comes out and says Gunther can keep his title for now, but challenges Kaiser to a match tonight. While he's doing this, Corbin and Corey are making fun of Big Pat's over-the-top celebrations for Nakamura as he comes out.
Really good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corbin he's my favourite wrestler. He's not really. He's up there, though. I love Corbin, me. I don't like how you're not allowed to appreciate Corbin in this world, this dark and disturbing world, but I appreciate that man.
He does a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does a lot in getting people over, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He is a good lad.
He does. I thought Gunther was going to give the shot to Ludwig, though. The way they were going, like, a champion never gives the shot to someone they don't know very well. He knows him well. He's his boyfriend.
His boyfriend.
And they're beautiful together. Nakamura wins a relatively short match with a Kinshasa, with Gunther berating his fallen pal after the final bell. Kaiser then takes 3 chops and doesn't even cry. The sick person.
Nearly does, though. It looks like he nearly
He did
cries.
well, didn't he?
He did
He
very
did.
well. I'd cry if I took a chop from
Yeah.
Gunther.
It was good, though, after Nakamura won, the crowd chanted USA. So,
Yeah.
well done, SmackDown.
Corbin as well, when he's on commentary, you know, when Pat, they're doing, like, in the middle of promos, and Pat will do, like, a subdued, like, oh, yes, that's very good, yes. Just something like that. Corbin nailed that. He's such a pro.
They did a good job of hyping up not only Nakamura versus Gunther, but also Big Pat versus Baron Corbin.
Yeah. It's good as well, because Gunther could scout Nakamura. Nakamura had a good little match there to show he can challenge for the title. It all made sense storyline-wise, what they were saying earlier.
I'm excied for that match when we get it, you know.
I wouldn't be.
Oh, you wouldn't
I
be?
think
Why do you think it's not going to
Nakamura's
last
gonna
too
get
long?
flattened, isn't he?
Oh, dear. Oh.
I don't think it'll be a ding-dong battle. I just think it'll be a ding, ding, ding.
He's going to squish him like a George Foreman grill. It's so good.
Like a toasty.
Oh. Where we are. Liv Morgan is interviewed by McAfee. The crowd chants, "You deserve it," yet again for Liv. Crowd love Liv.
They do.
Everyone loves Liv.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. Obviously, I've been off for 2 weeks, but just seeing the rise of people going, "I'm so happy Liv's won," and all this. Like, it's always been like brimming under the heat, the love for her, but then she's won, and suddenly it's like, oh yeah. Said the ratings for Money in the Bank, the highest viewership they've ever had.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm glad that the reason I go, oh, okay, all right. Everything on this person now. Michael notes that Ronda suffered a knee injury in her match against Natalia. Liv Morgan says, "Bring it." Liv then claims no one wants to hold the title more than she does. Liv says it means everything to her because she thought she might never get there as champion, and then turns into massive cringe bollocks by quoting large bout John Cena, "Never give up." Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's this recurrent thing in WWE. Oh, you just won a title or you're a new big deal? Okay, make sure you bring up a previous, much more successful person.
Like, let's imagine, I hope this didn't happen because it sounds like it could happen, but imagine if when Cena was on the rise, he was like, well, as my hero Hulk Hogan used to say, eat your vitamins and say your prayers.
Yeah,
I don't think he did. He might have done that.
No, he didn't, and that's why he's one of the greatest of all time. But then Ricochet would be like, I want to be one of the greatest IC champions of all time, like Randy Savage and Shawn McMahon. Say, you're losing next week.
But I thought we were getting Natalia versus Liv here. That's what they're promoting all week long. And then, God damn it didn't happen. I was looking forward to that match there.
Like the Cultaholic Podcast crew, card subject to change.
Yeah.
Natalia speaks some bollocks about fairy tales and then says, despite not winning against Ronda at Money in the Bank, she enjoyed it. I like that match as well, by the way.
Yeah.
I think Natalia versus, it's over now by the looks of things, Natalia versus Ronda while it lasted via Twitter was one of the best things in
Via
WWE.
Twitter, yeah.
Oh, God.
On the show, it wasn't as good.
On the show, it was like, oh well. But just we have Ronda going, go away, you weirdo. Go and film some weird sex stuff with your sister. Get your jebs out. And then Natalia goes, shut up, you conspiracy nut. Go get your head kicked in. I'm like, oh my God, it was amazing. Ronda then appears and says defending the title is a lot harder than winning it to Liv, and then asked the crowd if they wanted her to beat the credit out Natalia, or another word. That credit bit didn't work, but
Crap.
Ronda was supposed to be, I guess, maybe good, maybe bad, I'm not sure, but she did make a good point. It's like, yeah, you know, like Natalia did all the hard work, and then you came along and cashed in. It's like, that's true though. Crowd didn't care. Natty hit Ronda down. Liv sees Natty off, end scene. And then back from the break, and an injured Ronda Rousey just absolutely destroys Natalia. Finish her off with an ankle lock. Like, it's like, this feud is over.
It's finished
Ladies
now,
and gentlemen.
Natalia's done as well. Well, she's not done.
She's
but,
done.
In terms of a title picture thing, she's finished.
Yeah.
This is, underlying going, thanks.
It's just weird how Pat wasn't cleared by the medical team to sit down and commentate. But Ronda Rousey, clearly injured Ronda Rousey, was cleared to wrestle a match in this week's SmackDown. And one strike to Natalia's knee, and she was hobbling, and that was it. It was curtains. I don't know what else to say about that match.
I guess it was just a way to make Ronda still look strong, right?
Yeah. Stick a fork in Natty, though.
Yeah.
Because she's done.
Yeah.
Done.
If you don't believe us, wait till she's on those house shows. Max, we'll get this right. Dupree presents the perverted sniff. Oh, right, that's an action.
Yeah, it's an action for you there.
Sorry, Max Dupree presents the tennis collection in line with Wimbledon finals weekend. Fans are encouraged to send in their applications to MaximumMaleModels.com, but if they do not have the natural qualities of a mace and...
What?
How'd you say it?
Masse.
Sorry, I forgot. Masse and... How do you say it? Mansoir. They shouldn't bother. Ross, we did see on Twitter. You did submit your application.
I've submitted my application. And my arsehole was twitching like a rabbit's nose last night.
Why was that, Ross?
Max Dupree was calling out the Whoppers on Twitter. And I was like, I'm next, aren't I? But I've made it through one other day. Maybe I'm into the second round. Hey, I'll crap myself if I see myself on SmackDown tonight, Maffew. I will.
Oh, would they put in are they putting?
I don't know. I assume they do because you go on the website, you submit like a full body picture, you put your Twitter handle on, you put your email on, and everything. So I've been signed up to all the emails, obviously, for all the events and whatnot and merchandise.
Nice.
That's going to be good and fun for the weeks.
Is that how they're getting them?
Probably.
Oh, that's genius. That.
Yeah, I put a Rossi drip special on. So hopefully I get.
I thought you were going to put a tennis collection on.
Why
the tennis shorts?
I didn't actually go to any effort to it, Andrew.
Why?
It was a
You
picture
should
from
have
last
done.
year. I'm beardless though. I thought it had the natural qualities of both Masse and Mansoir in my pose with my bin bag. I had a picture of bin bag
nice.
as well.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Almost like a tennis racket.
sort of, yeah,
Ish, you know?
yeah, just like one.
Like the way they hold it behind the reds.
Yeah, I guess so. Just like a bin bag. But
It's almost like a tennis racket.
Really?
I thought Masse, his looks in this segment here, it served and pleasured my guilty inner things.
Good.
Because the shorts were really short, weren't they? And really tight.
They were tight.
Yeah.
They were tight.
But I am happy his polo shirt allowed him the room needed to deliver the perfect backhand. Just like that. Ooh. I feel like an MM already.
There, didn't you?
Aye, terrible. I thought Max Dupree himself got a bit lost at one point, just because I thought he was staring at the lads a bit too far, a bit too much, a bit too intensely, that he wasn't reading his cue cards very well. This dropped off compared to last week, I'm not going to lie to you, because the debut segment was fantastic. I think Pat McAfee not being there made a huge difference because he made it 10 times better. But hopefully they recover, because it wasn't the best segment this week.
It was
it
weird.
didn't help as well that the crowd last week were like, oh, I said boo. This week, the crowd were deed.
Yeah.
I don't know if they reacted for Roman Reigns. They loved him. We all love Roman. But then as soon as they were doing this, it was like, no, I only watch Money in the Bank. What's this?
Yeah.
Like, is this a regular thing?
I tell you what, though, Mansoir's packing. That's another thing I've written down here. Massive cock and balls. Go back and watch that segment. I kind of believe it, me. He must have had a tennis ball or two stuffed down those little...
Well, they do, don't they? They put them in the pockets.
It wasn't in the pocket.
It's not a tennis
A lot
ball.
of love there, if you know what I mean.
That little flap at the front of the boxer short, I reckon.
Oh.
Whatever that's for. You never poke your winky through that, though, do you? That's a discussion we should all have.
It's weird, isn't it?
Do you?
It just, no, I don't.
Dad, do you ever poke it through there, the little flap in the front of a boxer? For a treat.
For a treat.
Oh,
Like a sit-down weaver.
I think we might have to move on before you... Strawberries and cream everywhere, Ross. Theory has asked what message he was trying to send Roman Reigns earlier tonight. No, get that man away from messaging system. As he ran around the ring with the Money in the Bank briefcase while the champion was stood in the middle of the ring.
What message could he be sending, Maffew?
I don't know, it's so ambiguous. Theory says he would love to cash in on Lesnar after the way he treated him. He also said people don't like him and he could be the guy people have been looking for to beat Roman Reigns. Madcap Moss then appears and the entire crowd goes, oh yeah, him. Says he bet he could shove that big briefcase down Theory's mouth.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice tasteful pause there from Moss.
One of the most pointless segments in SmackDown history.
Yeah.
Give it time. Lacey Evans tries her entrance 3 times because the crowd aren't giving her the reaction she thinks she deserves. She'll embarrass the fans because they know the struggle she's been through and they know they can't go through the same struggles. She calls them fatties and says they can go to hell. And then she slaps Alia and then she leaves. The match doesn't happen. Shotzi and Shayna must have got lost or something. Now, again, this was funny because she says, you guys aren't giving me a good response, which was true. They weren't. I guess the idea was supposed to cheer them, but the crowd weren't because they were dead the entire night. So she had a point.
She's just back to being a heel now.
Yeah.
What happened?
It was just like that.
Babyface for a few weeks. Babyface for a few weeks. Then she went to Raw and was a heel for a week. Then she came back to SmackDown, was a babyface again. And now she's back to being a heel.
And there was zero reaction for it.
And no wonder. What are you supposed to do? at least have it be a bit more, long lasting, so we can get an idea of what we're supposed to do for poor old Lacey and her abusive father and her tough upbringing, which was a really endearing story. I thought
It was.
The fact that she's made something of herself, but no.
I think it was on the podcast. I was like, I reckon she'll come out and she'll just start berating the crowd for not getting into her. And I think everyone was like, nah, that's going a bit too far. Like, why would they do that? And I guess it works.
Yeah.
I guess it works when the crowd aren't cheering for you.
But what will she
general.
be this week, lads? Will she be a heel or will she be a babyface? Hedge your bets now.
Maybe that's how they're trying to get people to watch. Will she be a good person or a bad person?
Tune in next week.
And then we get Lacey Evans tries to the Usos squashed the Lethal Lovers, lost the Tharios.
I like to call them by their full name every time.
I like that.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
La, 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 la.
It's also the noise we make when we see them.
Hey, that's a good.
Yeah,
Put
you've
them
got-
all together for a faction.
What a mouthful. After the match, Kayla's in the ring stirring the pot, saying, if you can call that a win at Money in the Bank. The Usos say what happened at Money in the Bank wasn't on them. It was on the referee. Kayla mentions rumors of a special guest referee in the rematch at SummerSlam. The Usos suggest Roman could do it. And then Drew McIntyre's music hits, but not because he's a special referee, because he's in the next match and they're running long, presumably. Good point.
There was Humberto did a nice twisted maneuver during this match that titillated my juices.
They were dead.
My guilty
I think
pleasures.
they're getting well better as a tag team.
Oh, they've been great all the time.
Well, I mean, they have,
Just
but
don't get a
like
chance,
they
do
just
they?
don't exactly. They don't
Yeah.
get a chance. I want to see more of them.
They've got great
Like,
team as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But this was another segment that was just like, they're actively trying not to do wrestling. I'm with the Lacey Evans segment as well. Why is this happening? What's going on with this week's SmackDown? Huh?
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 I don't know, it was weird because it did do a good job. This and Raw did a good job of building up towards SummerSlam, but as its own show, it was like, all right, this is all veg in the 80s. Sheamus reckons he has a touch of the COVID, cough, cough. So sends in his also... I hadn't thought about this. So sends in the guy he's been traveling with, Butch, who must also have it then, to face Drew McIntyre, while he and Ridge the Fridge stand at ringside. Drew beats Butch really quickly and sees off an attack from Ridge the Fridge. We don't know who will go on to face Roman Reigns for the Uwu at Clash of the Castle, despite the fact that the whole show was building towards his advertised main event. That didn't happen, Maffew. In the words of Sheamus, we should say, nah, we're not watching that, poo. Drew then... Yeah, you know what's on those stupid stuff after this show? Questions. Drew then cuts the rope with his sword. Some pyro goes off from the impact of it hit so hard, and then his sword bends in half.
So like the closing shot, obviously you get Drew like pointing to whoever's on the right, but they don't show where the sword's pointing because it's probably just like some kid in the crowd that's just like, what?
It's all hilt. It's like, no, don't show it. Don't show it.
It wasn't a good week for props in WWE this week, as we'll find out a bit
No,
later
it
on.
wasn't, Ross.
But, I thought it was top poo-housery from Sheamus as a heel. I thought that was good. But again, it was yet another match. I don't know how many there've been this week, but another match they advertised for more than one day, which didn't happen, which was a bit of a slap in the face. I've written down here, Drew is a massive nerd, or can't tell the future, I don't know, because the fire that was produced, how did he summon the powers of the Scottish gods? So I don't know what's going on here. I thought,
Because Clash of the Castle is where?
Wales.
What's on the Welsh flag?
A dragon.
What the dragons breathe?
Fire.
That's it.
There you go.
He's got it.
End the
Go home. End the podcast, bye.
Yeah, they won't get any better than that this week. I don't know what to make of this SmackDown. What a strange, pathetic show.
I think just WWE in general this week, there's been a lot of like false finishes and stuff to matches. It seemed to be a running theme throughout the week so far. Yeah.
Hey, as suppose they changed the card. Anything can happen in the WWE.
Yeah,
It's
You
true.
can find that.
yeah.
Do you reckon Drew's going to face off against a giant mechanized dragon at Clash at the Castle?
That would be great.
Are you all right, Andrew?
I'm just...
We gave him one of those fruity cigarettes before he came in.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, one of
in
those
the
marijuana
world
pills.
wrestling entertainment. I was just thinking that, I don't know.
But I thought, like, before this week's SmackDown, they were going to build for Drew and Sheamus and Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
And Roman would face somebody else, but now it looks like Drew's going to get the shot and lose.
Do you reckon we're going to get that
Props.
match at SummerSlam between Drew and Sheamus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's probably why they didn't
That's probably
do
what
it.
they're building up to, aren't they?
Also, a nice little bit, and there's a very quick match at the end. Drew slammed Butch. It was round his waist, and he was still round his waist, but like knocked out. So he just held him like you get one of those things that carry your baby around when you're doing your shopping.
Little Butch.
Little Butch. Then we get Ring of Honor Rampage. Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Oh, cheers.
Eddie Kingston eventually slays Konosuke. I can't always get his name.
Takeshita.
Takeshita. Thank you.
Don't say it phonetically like I nearly did on the news video the other day, because it's literally spelled take Pua.
Pua.
Can't say the proper.
No.
Demonetized.
And only we can take the poo in this podcast.
Yes.
In a ding-dong battle to end them all. Later on in a dark and dingy room, Eddie says Chris Jericho is going to pay for what the JAS did to Ruby Soho. So he wants his blood in a barbed wire everywhere death match.
Yeah.
Barbed wire on the ceiling. Barbed wire on the floor.
Barbed wire everywhere. Made me think of All Red Everything. Maybe Eva Marie could be in line for AEW.
Oh, no.
Eva Marie on every corner.
I thought Eddie getting his tits out at the start of this match to show he was still feeling the blood and guts is those little things that sets him apart from many on that roster. But Takeshita, his wrestling is perfect every single second of every single match. He never does anything wrong.
He's my new favorite. He's so good in every single match that he does. Like he puts 110% in.
Although I'm going to contradict myself because I wasn't a fan of him no-selling the Saito suplex lariato combination from Eddie. There's some moves you got to stay down for, Mr. Takeshita.
Nearly.
Stroke there.
But like the German suplex on the apron and everything.
The strikes on the mat as well towards the end. I was thinking, it's only Rampage. It's not as if this is double or nothing or in the Tokyo Dome, lads. Come on. But
Every match is a big match for this lad. But you're right, he's getting a hell of a reaction from the crowd considering he has no real storyline or
character
interviews on it. Yeah, it's that guy.
Cinnabon. That's all we need.
That's right. His
on
Twitter
Twitter.
gimmick.
Oh, is that his Twitter? I don't
He
follow
just
him.
loves Cinnabon.
Oh, fair enough.
And now they've given him a membership card or something as well. So there's development there.
He's doing well to look like he does then if he's going to Cinnabon.
Yeah.
Right?
Fantastic. Specimen.
Ooh. Athena and Chris Statlander call Jade Cargill a coward and say they're not going anywhere before they get a shot at the TBS Championship. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what else to add to that. Yeah, that happened.
And then the Gates of Agony, it's a great name, defeated that dirty, stinking Judas in his mind, an immortal vessel known as his human octopus body, Jonathan Gresham, his tag partner, Lee Moriarty. After rejecting what would have been the hottest of hot tags, Gresham hugs Tully on the ramp, appearing to join TBE. Later in the night, that dirty, stinking Judas in his mind, an immortal vessel known as his human octopus body, said he signed his Ring of Honor contract in March and has been sat in his ass since then. Tully approached him with a plan, and he'd be a fool not to listen to him. Next week, it's Gresham versus Moriarty for the Ring of Honor title on Rampage. To be honest with you, although Gresham was a bad man for turning without little warning, as a British person, I feel it very hard to trust somebody with the surname Moriarty. I mean, we've all had Sherlock Holmes, right? He's a bad man, that lad.
I don't know Sherlock Holmes very well.
I'm glad we're on the same page here.
Is that his brother? Or his ex-best mate?
No, that's Watson.
No, his other one. His other one.
No, Professor Moriarty's is the villain.
But
They
aren't
got
they?
the full,
I
Reichenbach
thought they were
together.
brothers. Am I
No.
got something wrong there?
Brothers? No.
Aren't they in the Benedict Cumberbatch one?
Oh, I don't think, are they? I don't remember that.
I might.
In the original books, they're not. But
I don't know.
this has gone horribly. I'm
I
really
bet
sorry.
everyone at home appreciated it. It's not.
You probably did.
we're just
Sherlock Holmes is about 1,000 years
I
old at
know.
this point. It's in the
We're
public
just
domain.
uncultured
Sorry.
swines.
He's not as good as Scooby-Doo, is it?
I tell you what, though, Gresham going to join that faction because I like the look of Mr. Leona and Mr. Khan. I think is how you pronounce that properly. They're fantastic the way they look.
Very good, aren't
And
they?
Gresham
Aggressive boys.
complimenting them, fantastic. And the swerve was straight from Vince Russo's top sock drawer, where the wank socks are kept.
So the best wank socks.
Yes, so Tully Blanche has got himself quite a formidable stable.
I'm happy for him because it felt like Tully didn't really have much for the longest time, didn't it?
Well, he just got disregarded for Bret Hart, and then Bret Hart didn't turn up, and now he finds himself here.
Yeah. He's been left on red by FTR, and he's like, oh, sorry. Yeah. Join us, dear. And who else is in the stable?
Professor James Moriarty is not Sherlock Holmes'
Thank you.
brother.
Oh,
He is Sherlock Holmes' nemesis.
Nemesis.
Same thing in my
Like Maury Povich. We can reveal you are not the brother. Moriarty running out. Yay! Anyway, Yeah, who else is in Tully's stable? Is Brian Cage in that as well?
Brian Cage,
Yep.
That has to be one of the funniest oversights. That's up there with WWE forgetting to release Iron Sheik whose contract renewed. After insult them on commentary for weeks on end, and it's like Brian Cage is re-signed. He's like,
I see him at the weekend.
"Oh, it's renewed." Oh,
he's in a tag team with everyone's favorite conspiracy theorist or whatever he is these days, Flip Gordon.
Really?
Yeah, the whole tag team title somewhere.
No way.
No, it's a true story, I think. Yes.
God, imagine being in the back of the car listening to those two talk together. Bloody hell. So that was good. Gates of Agony's a good name, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leona's Samoa drop. I keep thinking of Leona Lewis when I keep saying that. Her doing a Samoan drop, but his Samoan drop is the one that sets up the finish.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Dead good.
Like Umanga from back in the day.
Manga.
Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez squash Kayla Sparks and Christina Mari while simultaneously competing in an anything you can do, I can do better contest.
Yes.
It's as impressive as it is petty. Deeb turns on Martinez after the bell, not in a saucy way. She just clubs the poor lass upside the head. Well, thank you for clarifying that.
Cheers. You're welcome. Just thought I'd clarify.
Yeah.
Obviously, but we were building towards the Ring of Honor Women's Championship very slowly, but then it picked up the pace this week, and I think that's a good thing. I'm glad the turn happened now. It was getting a bit like, oh, we get it now. You're both very good.
Good point.
Crack on, will you?
I obviously think it's a good thing, and I'm looking forward to the match. But again, the crowd just didn't seem to be into it. They were like,
Because Ring of Honor, innit?
I guess.
Are people, I know there'll be a portion that's really into this, but I couldn't give a hoot about Ring
And
of
it
Honor.
gets-
They
as
haven't really
well.
established. So it's like, so Ring of Honor is just a separate brand that also appears on AEW. And it is also like, okay, fair enough, there's some good wrestlers and some great wrestlers and everything else like that. There is also a lot of the stuff on AEW I'd like to see that you've already got being pushed aside for another brand. It is weird. It is very much like when WWE invaded WWF, and it's like, okay, do you have your own brand? And like, no, the executive said that rather shove bees up their ass than give us a separate brand, so they're just on the show as well.
I guess as well, a lot of the build between them two, being in a tag team has been on like dark elevation, I think, as well. So I guess, get them out in front of a bigger crowd that might not have really known. They're like, oh, okay.
Speaking of dark, Pac defended his title at Rev Pro.
Yeah.
Against
Shota Umino?
That's right,
Yeah.
Shooter. Right? And it was great because they had the Rev Pro footage and just put the Chiron from AEW over it. I thought it really looked cool. And Excalibur and Taz were like, "Whoa, we're flown over on that private 2-seater jet. Wow, very tired, but we're here for the match." So it was very nicely done.
What were they chanting at him again, Pac? They had some sort of bastardy chant from
He's a
him.
bastard.
He's
He's
a
a bastard.
He's a bastard. Da, da, da.
Yeah, and then Taz joined in because why not? Sings all the hits. Anyway, Monday Night Raw.
Oh, you missed one.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, no, big. Of course. Orange Cassidy defeats Tony Nese with a massive orange punch in a big old silly bollocks lawyer fest.
Yes.
Yeah, I was rather impressed by this because I thought it was going to be just a little, all right, whatever, these two having a little match. But God, Orange Cassidy's good now.
He's good.
Yeah, so
good.
was Tony. I was
Tony.
blown away by Tony Tone. His moonsaults, his impressive tilt-a-whirl Northern Lights, like Alicia Fox. And I don't say that as a piss take. She's got the best one.
Oh, we all
the
know
kip
that.
up to get out the lariat from Orange when he did the Trish Stratus thingy. He's just nicking all the lady wrestler moves.
Yeah.
Isn't he? But he was fantastic in this match as well.
They were mint. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of we forget about Tony Nese, don't we? And I guess we
Because
forget.
he's got no character.
Well,
hasn't he?
exactly.
He's got a lawyer manager.
Yeah. But he was so good in this match. I think he's got one of the best moonsaults going now, right now, in wrestling.
Not the best moonsault ever. though.
Not the best moonsault ever, but one of the best at the
That'd be
moment.
a good name for it. Oh, no, he's hit one of the best moonsaults in the business. One of.
His sell for the orange punch at the end as well. It was better than your fella in
Yeah,
Newcastle.
he
I
did like the
thought.
flip and everything. He did like
Yeah.
flips and it was good.
Really good.
Yeah. Like I said, the AEW roster is so stacked and packed, you forget, oh, yeah, Tony Nese, right. He's not competing for anything in Ring of Honor or AEW right now. Bless him. And then Monday Night Raw, funny name, still being worked on.
Oh, God, I forgot, didn't I?
Yeah. Brock Lesnar says life has been pretty good for Roman Reigns recently. He's been eating well, flying private jets, like Taz and Excalibur.
Yeah.
Lesnar calls him a hog several times. Lesnar is interrupted by his old friend Paul Heyman, who is also called a hog and a pig by Brock, who were former WWF Tag Team Champions at one point. Heyman calls Lesnar the odds-on favorite while the Usos look on backstage. But then Heyman says he might have to train Reigns to put his hand up Lesnar's ass and pull his heart out.
That's a line he said?
Yep.
Imagine that, eh?
That's a long way around the heart.
I know.
Theory comes out and says he's going to take back his US title before saying he's going to cash in on his Money in the Bank briefcase at SummerSlam. Theory shows footage from Elimination Chamber to show he hasn't forgotten about Lesnar giving him a big old F5 off the top, which is the only thing I remember about that match.
That's it.
Yeah.
Alpha Academy attack Lesnar because they are Theory's friends. I don't know how long that's been.
It just happened.
And also idiots. Lesnar shags them.
He does. He shags them good and proper. I like this segment, though, because Brock's promos clearly, as they wouldn't be anyway, they're clearly not scripted.
Yes.
Otherwise, when we get lines like, pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. You're a hog, Roman Reigns, and I slaughter hogs on my farm every day.
Just like that.
Just like that.
That was Brock Lesnar right
Yeah.
there.
And him coming out, his power didn't go off straight away, so the camera went, that was crap. And just having a good old time. Hey, how you doing? Big old cowboy hat, Brock. Talking about hogs. It's a different change.
Yeah.
It is.
But it works, though, because the crowd are like, hey, it's Brock, yay. It's like, I would never associate him as a happy-go-lucky guy. Like, not in any multiverse, but here we are.
And like just the way that he would cut off Paul Heyman and stuff as well felt very natural rather than kind of scripted and stuff. I thought that was quite good.
I'll tell you what about Heyman as well, which you can tell I watched Raw late this week because I've written down this bit of insight. Interesting training methods introduced by Heyman, as we said there. By him referencing Reigns like he does, I always assumed that Paul was the sub and Roman was the dominatrix, but now it looks like Paul is a dominatrix and Roman is the sub.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're the ones with the real power in the relationship.
Oh.
The F5 Lesnar, though, that through the table on Otis, that came second in my move
That
of the
was
week.
dead good, that.
Yeah.
He like actually got air on it and spin.
It's all on Otis, that, though.
Yeah, do you reckon? Yeah. He put the effort in on that one,
He
guys.
pushed him
Come
off the
on.
shoulders, that's what
He did. He did.
Like, speaking of hogs, there we go. Damian Priest shows he is a massive fan of early noughties pop sensation Blue.
All rise.
All
rise. I rest my case. Simon Webb, yeah.
Before plugging Rey Mysterio's 20 years in WWE thing at Madison Square Garden in a couple of weeks' time. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about, isn't it?
Who is that jumping out the sky?
R.E.Y. Mysterio. Here we go.
He then says he's finished and tries to take ownership of Dominic. And Ray is like, you can have him. Sorry, no, I didn't. They say Edge was a bad leader and then call Ray a bad father. All of this is really worthwhile. So the advertised wrestling match that had time taken away from it for this bollocks. Balor then beats Ray to send a message to Dom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm not the biggest New Japan aficionado in the office. I'm, as we all know,
You're an old Japan.
Old Japan fan. Yeah.
Bar forever.
Go on the bars. Not Motorco, though. But, this segment was all about Finn Balor because this was the first time I was really getting to see Finn Balor as a heel, a sassy heel. And I was like, this is the first time, because, I can appreciate Balor as a good-looking man and why people would get behind the Balor Club in NXT and whatnot and how he made all of his money from merchandise. But by and large, Finn Balor's been really boring for me. Watching him down the years. But in this segment here, the sassiness on show was fantastic with his little thing for Dom, and he was speaking Spanish just after Damian Priest was speaking Spanish. He said tranquilo. I thought it was a nice touch, a nice little sassy touch.
And he's a heel because he's wearing long tights.
Yeah.
Purple bits coming out of trousers.
Bastard.
Does his thighs save lives? I think he looks like a matador, maybe with his little
Oh, he does a bit. That's what I was wondering. What with his boots and stuff on as well. Yeah.
Like Puss in Boots.
Yeah, like Puss in
Shrek.
Boots.
Bus in poots. Anyway,
By the
they
way-
beat Ray in an alright match.
I can't believe I've written this down as well. Finn Balor trying to do Eddie's stuff against Ray wasn't as good as Logan Paul doing Eddie's stuff.
Oh, I
with Ray.
know. He did do those. We'll have to talk more about him soon.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
we are.
Goody cum drops. Becky Lynch stands on the announce table and says she has a little bit of a breakdown. So she's had a little bit of a breakdown, but then realized she doesn't need to win Money in the Bank because she works hard. She then calls out the bollocks that is Carmella getting a rematch of the title when she beat Asuka in a thunder bastard of a match and didn't get a rematch of her own after WrestleMania. All valid points. She demands a title match at SummerSlam. Bianca Belair then loses to Carmella via countout thanks to a distraction from Lynch at ringside. And Bianca Belair's a babyface because she takes the eye rake and she's like, and then tries to get out back in the ring, but then Becky Lynch is there. Yeah.
I'm really enjoying how Becky's the only person who is employed by the company and paid by the company, but can slander the company on air. Because she's done this before. She was slandering championship contenders matches. Now they make no sense a little while ago. And now she's saying about the rematch stuff here. It's good to see that someone can do it. And it's weird to see them probably script that for her.
Yeah. How do we get out of the storyline thing? Just say it's bollocks. Oh, yeah. The crowd will buy and accept that.
Yeah. The match itself, though. I thought Carmella looked good in there.
I thought it was all right. I think it was better than the one they had at Money in the Bank. I thought it was good. There were some nice reversals in that, weren't there?
Corey Graves calling her the bad arse with the nice arse.
I think it, yeah. Calls it as he sees
Right.
it.
Okay.
A nice reversal of the KOD with an X Factor by Carmella.
Yeah,
which
that was good.
They didn't call it an X Factor for some reason.
It was the face buster.
But then the end of the match came, and obviously the DQ happens. And for whatever reason, despite the fact... Yeah, what was it?
Count out.
Despite the fact Carmella's proven down the air, she's a very good wrestler, I think. She done the rules. She's parading around with the title, and I've won. Why do stuff like that to make them look like an utter prat? Eh?
I don't know.
Eh? Why do that, eh?
I don't know, Ross.
Do that?
I don't know.
They know the rules, man. Writers, for goodness sake. Unless the writers just didn't know.
Wouldn't be great? Yeah, the writers legitimately don't know.
Imagine if she did think she'd won the belt, right? I was like, yes!
The Miz and his new Miz Fit Ciampa.
In action!
Well done.
Yes!
I got a
general erection right here.
Appear on Miz TV. Ciampa wants the eyes of the world on him, and nobody attracts the eyes of the world like the Miz. Ciampa wants it all. Logan Paul is shown saying he's coming for the Miz at SummerSlam. Miz knows what Logan is doing. He's just stirring up the controversy. Logan has one more chance to chance his ways. That's what it says. Change his ways. Otherwise, Miz will set Ciampa on him. Grr. AJ Styles claims Miz just has gotten Ciampa on side to do his dirty work for him. It's the actions of a man who's a coward, a man who has tiny little bollocks. And you can buy that shirt on WWE.com right now.
You can.
Does it say I've got big, massive
Bollocks.
bollocks? Something like that.
Lovely big balls.
Elias comes out to make a tag team match. What?
Ezekiel
it says
comes up.
there's lots of typos.
Yeah.
Who?
There's two
Ezekiel.
typos so far.
Ezekiel.
For goodness sake.
They look nothing
There's
alike.
5,000 words there, Maffew.
Yeah, but no one's established they're nothing alike.
I know.
Come out to make a tag match. Styles looks to have the match won for himself and the other one, as he has Miz in the calf crusher. Before that mental man Ciampa comes in and punches him one too many times for the DQ.
The good part of the segment. I like the link now between main roster Ciampa and heel NXT Ciampa. Did I say champion there? Ciampa.
We know what you meant.
Yes, because he was the greatest sports entertainer of all time in NXT. All eyes on me. My SHIT is banging, some might say. And now he's on the main roster saying, I just want the spotlight. So I think that links together quite nicely.
And gives a nice reason for why he would be teaming up with The Miz. The antithesis of anything he'd like at this point in his career. And I wonder how he was feeling. Because it was only a few years ago when Ciampa was saying publicly, I'm staying on NXT.
Yeah.
If they ask me to go to the main roster, I'm just quitting. And obviously things changed. But I imagine it's all right, Ciampa, you have all these matches. All right, AJ Styles, The Miz, I'm going to put up with that. Logan Paul's coming. Do you think he's there like, oh, you bastard.
He's getting a big spotlight. It's bit at SummerSlam. Again, that's a bucket list thing ticked off, no doubt.
Yeah.
He's just going to be the Alex Riley version 2.0.
He's gonna take the fall, isn't he?
Bless him. I mean, I still like him, but it is like, he's just a dude at this point. At the promo of Logan Paul, again, not being biased or anything like that, to me, it did sound like the crowd were definitely quiet and couldn't give a toss about him.
Yeah.
It's going to be an uphill struggle if they're expecting him to come in and be like, yay, Logan Paul. He has millions of fans around the world, obviously, but not all of them are in the crowds watching the
I was
product.
going to say, what the crossover between his fans and wrestling fans must be minimal. Because, like, my only exposure to Logan Paul before he came to the WWE was when it all kicked off and he went to that forest. And that's the only thing I know of him. So there's my mind made up.
Right.
I assume I'm the same as a lot of people watching this video today. So,
But people don't point out, as a person a few months ago said, oh, you know, he's changes ways and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. Great. More power to him. Yay, Logan. But we still see him. A lot of people still see him as that get off YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Like
as for three of it gets off YouTube,
Yeah.
I can understand it. If we showed up on Raw, we'd be like, hey guys, who are these idiots? What are they doing here?
I mean, I just like how big the pop was when The Miz turned on him at WrestleMania. Like you said,
That's a good sign, right?
I think you're right. There's a huge uphill battle to be had for him coming in. And if they expect him to be a babyface, I don't think it's necessarily going to go that way.
only one man can save Logan Paul's babyface career.
Who's that, Ross?
Baron Corbin. Happy Corbin.
I was going to say, if Miz can't get if Miz is going to get cheered against him, it's like, all right,
I don't think
break out the Baron Corbin.
I know Miz is a good heel, but he's not as heely as Happy Corbin is.
On his little shoes.
I think Corbin's a more heely heel, more dislikable heel than Miz is. I think Miz is too entertaining to be really dislikable these days.
No, I think he's the opposite. He has that hammy way with his bollocks and everything else like that. The crowd, even if the crowd are watching the show for the first time, they'll go, all right, he's a bad guy. I'm going to boo him. But like I said, they were cheering him over Logan. So if that doesn't work and Baron Corbin doesn't work, who's next? Is it Jinder?
Vince.
Shanky.
Riddle is back to being his lockdown levels of moron. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
As he speaks to Bobby Lashley's United States title and then the human Bobby Lashley as well. Riddle says he's going to hit Seth Rollins with an RK Bro out of nowhere, but then realizes it can't be out of nowhere because he just said he was going to do it. That's actually a good point by Riddle. He wants to watch Stranger Things with Bobby because that's currently what everyone's talking about, because he gets scared and wouldn't be so scared if Big Bob Lashley was there with him. Bobby doesn't want to. And leaves him a friendly fist bump. Like, get away from me, you freak.
Yeah, I think Bobby said, I've already seen it, soz pal.
Yeah.
But I think Bobby was lying, all right.
Yeah, it's like Bobby Lashley has to be a babyface now, so it's like big smiling Bobby, like, yeah, it's great. He's like, yeah, even I've got my limits, mate.
Just imagine like wrestlers backstage going, hey, Bobby, I want to give that human centipede a go, but I'm a bit scared. Can I watch it with you, Bobby?
Shit.
I've already seen it
on shelf.
Human centipede, beat it.
He probably could, to be fair. Well, it's not hard, is it? That doesn't matter.
What is it? What
to beat the human? I reckon I get beat up the human centipede.
what's the end goal with that? Like the human centipede. What's the end goal?
To build a big one.
But like, does it do anything?
Well, no, they just eventually die, don't they?
Oh, is that
Because
just
of
it?
infections and whatnot, and in the mouth and that.
No, then they fight, you know. As of two of them fight.
Just a kiss.
Stand up.
At Survivor Series, it's Raw's Human Centipede versus SmackDown Human Centipede.
There's a question for a big question.
Oh, God.
If we were to
what a
build
thumbnail that would
the
be.
perfect WWE
Oh.
human centipede, who would be the five? It's three, isn't it, in the first one? Three. Who would be the perfect three for the role?
Are we doing this now? Or
No, God.
say
Cultaholic loses its mind 1 week. Anyway, Alexa Bliss and Asuka defeat Doudrop and Nikki Ash in straightforward fashion. Last time we saw these two, I thought Doudrop and Nikki Ash were about to split up, but now they're back to being like, all right, well, guess we're teaming up then.
Because it was Doudrop was like, you got to get serious there, pal.
That was ages ago now,
She
though.
did.
She's like, I am serious.
Oh yeah, I've turned my attire black.
Yeah.
That's not serious enough for you, is it not? So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a waste, doing it?
Yeah, we're still waiting for Nikki Ash to start being like grim Batman style, like a Monday Night Raw, only one man can sift through the garbage that is the division.
Give her a tab. Just have her smoking on the air.
Do you just like, you all right? Why are you talking like that?
But it's because Nikki in this match with Asuka especially, I thought, was like, you forget she's really good. 'Cause I know the gimmick's her idea, and initially it was a nice idea, but they're doing bugger all with it to take it off her, for goodness sake, and just make something of her, because she's good.
Also, to Alexa Bliss is back, and she just person on the roster.
Yeah. But
There's
I don't know if they're
something-
just keeping it down here at this level while they've got the other people at the higher level.
I don't know why she
Wrestling
needs
for the
Lily
title.
as well.
Yeah.
That's a drawback for me.
Yeah.
But here we go. We should speculate about this as well, because at the end of the match, after Alexa pins Nikki, she grabs Nikki's arm and does some sort of sassy handshake.
Maybe that's just
What
because
could that be about,
that
eh?
could just be because they used
No,
to be
it's a
mates.
real-life thing.
They used to. Oh, it's a real life thing.
Of course it's got to be.
That's right.
Yes,
all the
it
women,
is.
all the shooting on each other.
We're on
That's all they do.
YouTube.
Yeah.
It's real life.
Oh,
Damn it.
okay, sorry, it's real life. Yeah,
I reckon Nikki sat on Lily backstage, right? And
Oh,
Alexa wasn't
right.
happy, so she's like,
She snapped a
Take that
WWE card or whatever it
Unprofessional
was.
wrestling continues. Jimmy Uso set to take on Angelo Dawkins. Before the match, R-Truth shows up, and he has a certification as a tag team counselor and referee. Showing off a textbook 3 count with accompanying knee slide and a pretty perfect 10 count. Very accurately done. Ooh, love to
lovely.
see it, don't you?
Really, really good.
Well,
yeah.
he only got to 7, didn't he? He didn't get to 10.
But, you know, while the 7 lasted, it was good.
It was
though.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Could have gone for 3 more seconds, I
Yeah,
agree,
yeah,
but
yeah.
3.5 stars. Truth wants to fight the Usos for calling him a clown ass. Almost comes out and helps the Usos take down Truth and the Profits in a 6-man tag. And it was all right, actually.
Yeah, it was
It was
alright.
another
It almost
advertised
didn't.
match that didn't happen, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one. We were meant to get
Crazy.
Jimmy versus Angelo. I know we saw it recently, I think, but damn
I was
you.
going to say, yeah, I was all right with them changing this.
Yeah.
And also who is going to be the special guest referee, for the SummerSlam match, because that wasn't an amazing match they had at Money in the Bank. And I'm like, oh, this lost? That's a shame. They went, oh, wait, the shoulder.
Oh,
Who could it be?
I don't know.
Mick Foley has re-signed.
Oh yeah.
Slick.
And he's done...
Slick Johnson.
Oh.
WCW's finest referee.
What when they saying on Jeff Jarrett's podcast that he was just Scott Steiner's mate?
In the gym, yeah.
Yeah. And
he
they
was
needed a referee one time. He went, all right, you're a ref. He's like, what?
He picked it up to double quick speed.
Yeah.
The concussion bit with Jeff Jarrett on that podcast as well was shocking for me.
Oh, with taking the snooker.
Yeah. And he just continued. He was back doing it the next night for the Thunder taping.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's what was just earlier. We were on about like all the wrestlers will just do it.
He's like, how you feeling, Jarrett? I'm all right. Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
It's like,
Get out there, do some wrestling.
Amazing podcast, by the way.
It is a really good podcast.
and
Even
Kevin
Paul
Nash is-
was nice on there.
Paul.
Bramwell. Was that his name? I think he's too nice to his guests, me. I like it when they get challenged a bit, but Paul's just like, yes, that's good. I killed a dog. Oh, that's lovely, though, haven't it?
Wow, well, you'll need to get bed insurance. That's the segue to that show, insane.
You're going to speak about Kevin Nash as well, weren't you?
It's just dropped now, and I can't wait to...
Oh, man.
You heard it, yeah.
I've listened to the
Oh,
whole
how
thing.
was
When
it?
it came out, it was really good. But the first 10 minutes or so, he's like, any other old-time wrestler, he's like, oh, these kids today, they go too quick. I was watching Seth Rollins, man, he wasn't selling. Then all of a sudden, it goes to politics. It goes to this, that, and the other. All these real-life issues. Like, yeah, here we go.
I'm looking forward
We've
to
got
this.
the first 10 minutes out the way, but now we're in there, Kevin Nash.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, who doesn't sell anything, drops an Elegante reference on his way to asking who in the hell Riddle thinks he is. I don't remember that. Was he
Just-
Elegante?
El Gigante.
El Gigante, yeah.
I say Elegante. That's how JR said it. So I assume that's how. And if you
Elegant.
need, if you need a man to get a name right, you get JR. Theory then interrupts him and asks if he has any advice when it comes to cashing in the Money in the Bank. Rollins and Theory head off for a cocktail, maybe a zombie, and a hearty discussion about being a dick in the realms of professional wrestling. Wow,
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for better help, could you?
Do you think Elegante could be in Maximum Male
Of course he
Models?
could.
Absolutely.
Way aye. Drag Race as well.
Yeah.
Elegante.
Elegante.
Mick Foley's flaming flannel shirt, a Rated RKO shirt, a You Can't See Me Cena cap, and some chunky fingers applying some sort of viscous substance to a wall from a goblet were seen in the latest creepy video about a creepy person coming to be soon. In the words of Paul Heyman, hide your wives, it's Edge. Yeah, Edge is back.
Yeah, it's got to be. There was another shot as well of like the guy from the back, and it looked like Edge's Rhea Ripley coiffed hairdo. So the Fiend will come back soon, I reckon, just off the back of that, because that's
why not?
random bollocks happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the promos; they're good, aren't they? But they're a bit too on the nose now, I think.
Yeah, because before they were mysterious, weren't they?
It was like,
little...
who could it be? And I was like, all right.
Yeah, because there was like brief second shots of things like the Hardy's wristbands, but now it like kind of lingers on the things a little bit too much. It's like,
It's gonna
all
walk
the
down.
excitement's gone now.
Next week, he's gonna walk down the street and there'll be a bar, and inside the bar, will have a live performance from Alter Bridge.
It's the Fiend, everyone.
Logan Paul, pause for effect, says he's coming to Raw next week so Miz can read his lips. Ross thinks Logan needs to update his kitchen cupboards because that kind of lip this would look is so 2006.
That's my main takeaway from the segment. You don't see that?
I didn't even
I
notice
can't
that.
really remember. I didn't pay any notice. What do they look like?
tanny brown lip this would look. It's very,
Oh,
very 2000.
That's it, Dan. You find it for
Yeah,
us.
go on. Frantically
Logan Paul's
typing.
kitchen.
Logan Paul kitchen.
Images it should be.
I'm excited about this.
Do we get?
If you
They probably won't show it because it was a pre.
Yeah, like a.
there you go, second row.
Oh,
Look at that lip this would.
Oh, they are. Yeah, look at
right.
them.
Get them updated.
What's that? What's
You
that?
got plenty of money, buddy. lad.
Oh, it's coming.
It's
coming.
It's
coming.
coming. There he is.
There he is.
Yeah.
Get them updated, for goodness sake.
What's
Look at
that light as well?
lamp
What's the
shade as well.
sh-
He must be
chandelier?
round at his granny's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Granny Paul.
Sorry, Granny. 2 seconds. Go record for WWE. With Lashley and Riddle in control of the main event tag team match against Rollins in Theory, that dirty dog, Dolph Ziggler, makes his return to Raw. Did you realize he'd gone? Me neither.
No.
After most recently being seen taking part in the last chance Money in the Bank qualifying battle royal and getting hoofed by almost through a table.
I forgot about the table
I
bit.
forgot about all of
Yeah.
that. Dolph wears a nice blazer and sits politely at ringside. Not so dirty anymore. He cements his newly groomed doggy self. What?
He used to be a dirty
okay, 'cause
dog.
now he's a clean dog.
Now
I
he's a
get you.
groomed
Well
dog,
done.
yeah.
Well done.
Cheers.
By knocking Theory's feet off the ropes in the midst of a dirty dog pin attempt And he kicks Theory in the mouth after Theory eats the fall to lose the match for his team. Riddle with the RK Bro for the win. Dolph Ziggler, it must be the summer. He's getting a push.
Yay!
I'm willing to give it a chance, me, because I've said for the longest time the character of Ziggler's dead after all the big losses he's taken, especially over the last half decade. It felt like after Survivor Series 2014, what came all those years afterwards, it just killed him off. But, if he's going to come back and they're going to make him a babyface, because he can't do anything, can't he, that man?
Yeah.
He can do anything he wants to.
It's sad. I'm realizing now he's had more time in the post-glow of being the best wrestler on the roster from 2012 to 2013 than he has when he had the best run in WWE.
We're all going to die soon.
Yeah, Dolph's. It should have been me. He's been that more than he's been. Oh.
The US champion who won the title, then gave it away, and then entered the Rumble and got eliminated in like a minute. That guy.
Oh, God, I forgot about
You
yeah.
remember?
And previously it was I voluntarily want to be number 1 or number 2 in the Rumble because I'm so good. I want to start number 1 and go all the way to number 30 with a crowd cheering and going, you probably can, mate. You're so good. You know what? So you're right. As you said, he's very talented. He's very good at what he does. It's just his character is staler than Lesnar versus Reigns.
Yeah,
So-
if they go all the way with it and just let him do the stuff he can do, it'll work. But I don't know if they will, because they never have done over for the past, since 2014.
Yeah, that that amazing tag match with Drew versus the New Shield.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Kurt
that was
Angle.
forgotten very quick. Kurt Angle. The even newer Shield, sorry.
But I thought that this match was quite good.
Yeah, it was good.
Bob and Riddle basically did Randy and Riddle stuff. I reckon Randy would have been seething at home, just watching it. Seething.
If he was watching Raw.
If he was probably playing video games or something.
Watching Stranger Things.
Yeah. 4.5-star frog splash from Rollins was good. But it's weird to see Theory not only lose but then get pissed on his chips again. This is going to be the guy. I think he's losing one too many big things at the moment.
Does that mean he's actually going to win at SummerSlam?
Probably, because that's how they do it, innit? Out of sight, out of mind, knock him down, build him up.
Yeah.
But I think you should just win more so he becomes a credible thing. If they're going to go down that way.
True, but it's so weird because he's currently feuding with Lashley because, the SummerSlam match buggered off. So now he's got Dolph Ziggler feuding with him, and he's also possibly winning the. Ooh.
Oh, I hope.
He's got a lot of stuff going on, hasn't he?
Oh, I hope Ziggler just doesn't get fed to him.
Oh, he will.
Oh.
What if Ziggler takes the Money in the Bank briefcase off him?
You can't have that.
I'm taking it back to 2012, lads. Anyway, NXT. Here we go, the main event.
What a roller coaster.
Roxanne Perez is seen sparked in the NXT car park, the most dangerous place in the entire Western Hemisphere.
True.
With Cora Jade, the only other wrestler on the scene. Wade Barrett says it could have been her own partner, and Marion Miller.
Why did they do that? All the way through the show.
It was like, who shot Mr. Burns?
Yeah, all the way. They interviewed about 500 wrestlers and it sort of telegraphed what was going to happen. It was just like, just don't mention the fact it could have been Cora, because why would it be? That's her partner that she's going to share all of her dreams with when they come true. Oh, that line still... I know you said pickles me there, but I don't know if that's the right
Pickles
word.
you?
I like that.
Do you? Oh.
I like gherkins and onions.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
pickles, all right.
yeah. But you being pickled
Yeah.
in a jar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that'd be a bit weird.
Probably for the best.
What?
Just won't be speaking anymore, will I? Because I'll be drowning in pickle juice.
So, Ross, what do you think? Good talk.
Robbie Brookside in the Regal role is not doing it for me. He's trying to get the same haircut. I don't know what haircut he's had for a while, but it looks like Regal's curtains. The Regal curtains.
Yeah. He's had like the Janetti hair since like the 90s, so it's weird him just going back to...
Has he been in that role for a little while then?
Well, he was the first on the scene when he going, who did this? What's going on?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Everyone goes, wow, Robbie Brookside. Anyway, Giovanni came, Apollo came, Wade came during Gio's entrance because Veni Vidi Vici. Veni
I
means...
love that entrance.
He's on board. Look at
I'm on board with
Really
this.
great.
I was like, because I was like, oh, okay, Fabian Eichner, I'm excited to see how this goes. And then with the whole smile into the camera, and it just pauses for
Do
a
you know
little
why,
bit.
though?
Why?
He's Italian.
He's a handsome man, is why. My goodness gracious me.
And by the end of this one, we all came. I ruined the flow of that line. I'm very sorry. Giovanni takes a phone off a random plant in the front row, with the referee giving the phone to anyone else but the man who owned it. Zion Quinn, very sweaty, pats Apollo on the head, which allows Giovanni to hit a sit-out last ride for the win. Very impressive.
I feel like I
Very
should
good.
stand up and applaud because this match was off the scale. This was the match of the week for me, and it included the move of the week.
Oh, is it?
Hit the thing
It's
down.
also my woof woof move of the week as well.
Oh my! Oh baby!
Mr. Apollo Crews is jumping off the middle rope.
Yep.
Sort of like, wee, like he's going into a swimming pool, like diving.
Yeah.
And he's just diving towards Giovanni, who has stood up. And by the way, Giovanni, I looked at them closely. He's not as big as Apollo. I would say Apollo is slightly the bigger and thicker man.
I checked. Their build weight. They're both 6 foot or something, but Giovanni is 200 pounds and Apollo Crews is 240 pounds.
Well, this makes it
Wow.
all the better.
Which is what
because
go on, Bill.
for some reason, somehow, he catches him, looks like he's going to drop him, and then just goes, "Ah!" and then picks him up for a suplex and then nails it perfectly.
He's dead good, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's dead. I was very skeptical when this whole thing came around. I think as a lot of people were, but he's doing well on his own here.
It's got to happen, and MMM is in my mind.
But he doesn't have a M in his name.
Huh?
He doesn't have a M, an M.
Oh yeah,
That's kind of like the thing, isn't it?
That's just wow.
It's like just click.
Poirot here
Wow.
again on fire.
Wow.
Mr. Giovanni.
Oh,
Thank you.
The
The thing is, I've seen other people do that spot, but it's been big lad like Brian Cage or Lance Archer, but it's been someone like Marco Stunt or Puppet Jack jumping on the guy catch him. That's the first time I've seen someone bigger than the guy grabbing him, jumping on. So I'm like, okay, yeah. He's like the Dax Harwood of WWE, where he's been amazing in a tag team and in singles this year.
Yeah, and he's also like the Takeshita of NXT because he does everything perfectly all the time.
I like that.
The wrestling on show here was amazing.
Could I ask you a question?
You can,
You
Andrew.
being the aficionado on NXT 2.0 now. Now that Apollo Crews can see into the future, why did he lose the match?
Because he only looks into the future to save people who are in peril. And Mr. Giovanni Vinci, at the time of their match, being the Italian stallion that he is, was not in peril.
I can take that as a valid answer, right?
Yeah.
I think Apollo Crews has been using his ability to go, all right, I don't know if I should get the Big Mac or the chicken burger. And he's like,
in that
all right, Big
vignette,
Mac. Yeah.
in that vignette that happened, like the first time we saw this stuff happen, that woman that he saves, right, did not look grateful. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
well,
the
no, she looked
slightest.
badass. She was just
she just looked straight at the camera at one point as well. It was just like, yeah,
That's
thanks.
the office.
To be fair, that would be quite heelish if he used his power to see in the future to win matches. So it makes
That would
sense
be
for
so
him.
good.
It makes sense for him not to because
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
he's a good boy. I was taken aback, by how many mentions of the main roster there was during this match. It felt like all they talked about was SummerSlam and things that happened on Raw and stuff. And I thought that's not my NXT 2.0.
I think that's a call from above high.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird.
No one cares where you talk about SummerSlam.
You should care. It's the best part. We also learned that Wade used to carry Drew McIntyre after one too many glasses of red wine in FCW.
Chardonnay
because he
as
was.
well, did he say?
Yeah, but it was obviously said because he said that I've been carried by Wade. He's like, the time I've carried him is after a few zombies.
Then I kissed him. I don't know why I didn't say that. I don't like Zion Quinn. I don't like his character. I think he needs to concentrate on winning matches before doing things like this. The bitch. He doesn't win, does he? He stands there going, I'm the thing that epitomizes the superstar in WWE. Then he loses every single match he has. But I thought it was brilliant how they showed the shot again, and they showed he was always there.
We didn't even notice it.
No, it
did we?
didn't.
Yeah.
That was
You see?
incredible.
It's perfect, this show.
Fantastic storytelling. And the person taking the photos with the camera on the phone, just like they're like really getting into it.
The random plant.
Yeah.
That's
was
the
on
only...
it.
Because Jack sits here, right, on this podcast.
Yeah,
he says
does.
every week that the entire crowd in that NXT 2.0 cauldron. That's the right word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cauldron.
Cauldron.
Big cauldron.
Yeah, the pot.
How do I forget that word? Anyway, I'm on a stroke here. He says that to a man, they're all plants. And I'm like, they're not. They can't be.
Some of them
that's
are,
what
but not all of
because
them.
some of them, yeah, some of them obviously.
In the
like, they
Chase
get
Hugh
it.
jumpers, I'll accept.
But that one that was sat next to the guy taking the photos, he wasn't a plant and he was getting well into it. And I appreciated that. So he loved it. He loved being there.
Because you could tell they're not all plants because they've been doing stuff where the Indy Hartwell, Dull Hudson, the Sex Fest thing going on there. When they ended that match, I think it was the last match they had on TV, And they all just kissed outside the ring, each other, practically. Oh, and the crowd were going, "What was that?
Yeah.
That was rubbish." It's like, okay, those are not plans, unless they were plans.
Oh, man.
Tell them the crap. We're getting rid of them next week.
They got Becky Lynch's scripts from Raw.
Cora Jade says herself and Roxanne didn't travel the show together. She calls Toxic Attraction bitches, and if it was them who was responsible for the attack, they'll have hell to pay. Later in the night, Toxic Attraction deny doing the attack and say that if she's buggered, Roxanne and Cora should just hand the tag titles back to them. So when you're a champion, everything falls into place. Mandy says, casting doubt into the minds of the watching 2.0 field. Don't think the viewership is as big as a universe, to be honest with you, right?
Yeah. So
2.0 universe is like, you can...
The 2.0 field.
I like that.
I think it's going to be really interesting knowing what we know now, seeing Cora Jade as a heel. Because to me, she sounds like a small girl. So, and not a bratty small girl, just a nice, your next door neighbor's kid. That's Cora Jade. So to see her now be a heel is going to be really interesting.
I'm interested to see what happens with the tag team titles as well now. Eh?
Yeah.
Oh God, how will they coexist?
How will they coexist? Exactly.
Big Tiffy Stats
Big Tiffy Strats.
is in the salon bitching about what that psychopath Wendy Chu did to her last week.
Did you see it?
There's still dirt under her nails, man. Bless her cotton Louis Vuitton. She then says, well, it wasn't the best service of all time, but I guess it'll do.
Yeah.
See, that's
And
where
she
she's quite nice because she didn't give them the bad review, right? She was like, not best in world. I won't bother with review or anything.
Yeah. But I think...
Babyface.
Yeah. No. I guess in that moment she was, yeah. I thought the reveal of when she had her nails finished and then there was a sign on the wall behind her that read tough as nails after she had her nails done. That's the sort of storytelling you don't get with other promotions. That's only NXT 2.0. But I also realised that maybe, and I don't know if this, again, I watched NXT late in the day, the receptionist that was doing Big Tiffy Strats' nails, the receptionist and the woman who was doing the nails were the same person. I don't know if we need to go back and watch this, but they looked...
Really?
I'm sure the one doing the nails just had glasses on, and the receptionist was the same woman without glasses on.
That'd be hilarious if it is.
They did a part where they cut sort of to the person that was doing the nails. So I don't know if we've got mixed up there.
I don't know.
Because they do just like randomly cut to that person and then cut back. Because I was like, oh, that's the same person.
She had a name tag that says, I'm a different person.
But again, it's another thing that wouldn't happen anywhere else. But
I love you
NXT
noticing
2.0.
all this random crap.
I really pay attention during NXT.
I could, bless you. Someone's got to. Cameron Grimes has no excuses for losing the title match last week. You can do everything the right way and still come up short, he says. He thought he was going to go to the moon, but instead he crashed into the sun. That was a beautiful little line.
Right.
And it was ruined when JD McDonough comes out to kick it. It sounds like the same Madonna, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not just me, right? Madonna's here, yeah. Madonna comes out to kick a guy when he's down, which is all he can do, as he's really short and probably can't reach when they're stood up. I don't know why I said that on the mic. A weird thing for a new guy to say. The fans chant, we don't care. Those are not the plans. Cameron calls JD an Irish arsehole, which is a great little pub around the corner. JD headbutts Grimes, yet still ends up being the one ring away like the little bitch, like all heels do. Have you seen the size of JD's head? That is considered attempted murder, a headbutt.
It is massive.
Because I wrote that line there about him being too small to reach someone when they stood up.
Yeah.
Before he stood next to Cameron Grimes, and he was the same height because of his massive head. He's like a power pod. Football crazy, chocolate mad. Grab a power pod and do the wrestling with JD McDonough.
He's built like a real life Playmobil. Like an orange on a stick. So, yeah, he did that. He headbutted him. Cameron Grimes is going to be out for 6 to 9 months. We wish him all the best.
6 to 9 years, Maffew. Come on now.
I like the bit where Cameron flubbed his lines and was starting to speak about the North American Championship and then got him back. He was like, I lost that recently too. It's on my mind.
Still on my mind. I
a
thought
lovely
that was good as
scene,
well.
It's like David-
I didn't even tell him. I thought it was, yeah, he probably is thinking about that.
Yeah, I thought it was good, me.
Yeah.
And
He's been magnificent on the microphone this last few weeks.
yeah, it's nice, the layers to that character. And I'm not even taking the piss here. He's being a babyface, but he's just being a disgruntled heel because he's lost some big matches recently. And he's trying to pass on his knowledge to these young whippersnappers. And also, he stood on the ring ropes at the end of this segment and shouted, I'm Cameron Grimes' mother. And then we saw the second half of that word as well. Right down the camera.
I'm telling you, this week, WWE pulling out all the naughty words here.
What else was I?
Well, there was
Thick AF.
thick AF, and then
That's not a naughty word.
Then later on in here, I can't remember who it is. Someone says mofo. They just say mofo.
Oh, right. Wasn't Cameron Grimes.
It wasn't Cameron
We had
Grimes.
2 mofos on one show.
I can't remember who it was.
Bloody
now.
hell.
When they were in
Everyone's
the
a
jacuzzi.
bad mofo. The Creeds are doing some film studying with former EastEnder and Spandau Ballet bassist Martin. How's he getting 2 mentions on this podcast this week? Roddy Strong catches his BF cheating on him with 2 other men. Roddy isn't happy and challenges Martin to a one-on-one match next week. Winner gets to DJ the 80s Christmas
I
spectacular.
hope so. I guess this means Roddy's going to get completely kicked out of the Diamond Mine next week.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that.
But then then the road is clear for him to go to.
I've let that one. I've let that one slide. I was convinced for weeks, but now it's not going to happen, and I'm okay with that. Although,
Well done.
if it did, you have Giovanni has growth in it, personal growth. If you did have Giovanni and Roddy involved in it, brother. Just a stroke in it.
You
God.
okay?
I don't know. It's getting a bit hot in here, isn't it?
Are you all right?
Maximum male models. What were the R and the G stand for? Right gnarly.
Right? No. Right? No. Oh, that's good.
This is when Ross is suffering from watching NXT 2.0 too much.
Oh, man.
He starts talking like he's on the show.
Putting my nose together on here takes long enough, but having to write Jack's as well this week.
I know,
oh,
bless
God,
you.
it took twice as long.
Oh, my
Stir
goodness.
crazy by the
Bless
end.
you.
The almost Diamond Mine member taking a backseat defeats Caden Carter. Thanks to a gnarly roll. You just said gnarly in real life in front of us.
It's the
Oh, my
Illuminati's
God.
at play here.
A gnarly roll-up reversal out of an almost standing suplex position. Agonal is impressed by this. Just help a little bit, but
Yeah, there was 8 a.m. Last Thursday, sorry, it would have been, wouldn't it? The 8 a.m. gym session. Paid dividends, so it did.
There we go.
But it was a lovely arm takedown by the almost Diamond Mine member, Paxley. And the brutal drop kick through the ropes from Carter. I thought this was a good
That
little
was
match.
good.
This,
Yeah.
you got to be working hard if you want to be in the Diamond Mine.
Yeah.
Look how hard they're wrestling each other.
To be fair, I think she needs to work a bit harder, just Tatum Paxley, because a Diamond Mine member should not have submissions put on her person as easily as Caden managed in that match.
But
there.
she's learning. She's learning.
Yeah,
You know,
hopefully.
she's getting
Another
there.
8 a.m. gym session. She'll get there.
And then further personal growth, which the show is all about. Joey Gacy says there's been a breakthrough in the schism. That's right.
man.
That's the new name for the Dyad and Joe Gacy. The Dyad will go through a cleansing and purification next week as they reveal their true intensities. Ooh.
Did I write down intensities?
I thought that was good.
Identities.
I couldn't tell if he actually said that or not. You know what? That's
It
half
is
a
meaningless.
pun.
It's like Bray Wyatt 2015.
That's kind of a pun if you squint.
Yeah.
There is plenty of room in the shade under the schism tree. It actually says schism treat here. I love you just like, oh, whatever. Try whatever.
I was watching this later.
Bless
in the day.
you.
I was-
Whatever the bollocks that means, 2015 Bray Wyatt off Wish and your nonsensical wrestling.
It was bollocks. This.
poo.
The only way they can pull this round is if, as we all expect, I guess we're all expecting it to be the GYV who gets revealed next week.
Yeah.
If Zach Gibson just somehow dethrones Joey Gacy and takes over and cuts promos that aren't just rambling bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? This is a thing that this is aimed at Jack, so let's see if it works here. You know why they're called schism? Because they're a bunch of tools.
Oh!
Yay!
Oh, I got it. The
That
band
was
called
very
Tool have a
good.
song
There we
called
go.
Yeah.
One for one so far on the crappy jokes.
It was poo on it.
Well,
I mean, look at them. Look at them. Listen to the three of them.
most of what Joe Gacy's done after week 1 of NXT 2.0 has been crap.
Yeah.
What if Bray Wyatt looked and acted like he worked in an office?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Cheers. Two Essex Cowboys walk into a bar. This isn't a setup for a punchline. Pretty deadly. Get themselves a shot for JB and BJ's NXT UK tag team titles by dressing up as cowboys and walking to a bar where the champs were drinking. A small scuffle happens and the bouncers are conspicuous by their absence. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
If this was England, all 4 men would have been thrown out and one of them would have tried a Superman punch. Somehow, despite being on developmental deals, JB and BJ are able to buy everyone in the bar a drink.
That was a bit too far for me. But I thought
that was fantastic.
the way this was shot, it was like a proper spaghetti western for
It
me.
was.
All that was missing was a in the background there.
Regretty spaghetti western.
The tension was palpable. I thought someone was going to get a cap popped in their arse by the end of the segment, but it didn't happen, did it? Because they just sort of went their own ways.
No, because Fan and Henley went, "Hey, this is my bar, and you better get." And then they went, and they were like, "Well, we're really proud to be the NXT UK Tag Team Champions." Just like, why?
I forget who said this week, but apparently they're going to give him back to Pretty Deadly because Pretty Deadly's due to go back
Yeah, they're
home
going
soon.
back home, aren't they? For a little bit.
The visa's expiring, Harry.
To take them with them.
Yeah.
It's not who's the most, worthy person to hold a title these days. It's just, you're going back there, are you?
I'll
just
take these back with you.
Hey, do you like NXT 2.0? Yeah. Then you'll love NXT UK. No.
I wonder
Come
if
on.
anyone has been convinced by this run for JB and BJ to watch NXT UK.
Well, after the segment, where Fallon Henley at the bar, they get the big old bat and go, "Get!"
Yeah, he.
Why wouldn't you watch it? Come on, pub. That Playboy Sanger is laughing at his cannonball near Dull Hudson last week. Because, yes, we still are homaging Anchorman. Damn right. Dull still has water in his ears, in brackets, which is no joke, by the way. You've told us before. I stopped competitive swimming when I was 16. I'm still feeling the effects of swimmer's ear today.
It's no
that
joke.
true?
No, it's no joke.
Do you still get? Does it still like?
I still
walk
just
around
get
in your head?
no, yeah, feels like about water, and then I just get random infections from time to time.
So, what is swimmer's ear?
Just where you get what? It's mainly when you're doing front crawl,
Yeah.
and you do that, and it's meant to be every 3 strokes. So you go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and it's the same size, and the water keeps going in.
Oh,
Yeah,
No.
that's very interesting. Thank you.
yeah. Because I never used to like wearing a swimming cap. Because it used to get stuck
the
in my
crap
hair
out
and
of me.
whatnot, yeah, and have to put talcum powder in your hair. I didn't like it.
Oh.
So I used to go without the swimming cap, but I regret doing that now. Because it would have saved the water going in there. But yeah, so I can empathise here with Dull Hudson, who I thought had a bit more pep in his step this week.
I was gonna say he felt like he had more personality this
Yeah,
time,
he
like the
did.
most that I've ever seen in this character.
There was like actual inflections,
and he was doing
whatever.
the whole
Yeah.
trying to get the thing out of his ear. I quite like that.
Although I do still enjoy Sanger being a nice guy, accidentally sent my feud. I'm like, "Oh, I'm really sorry I got you wet." No, how dare you? In the ring now. And then they get in the ring, and then Sanger beats Dull with a choke slam.
I think Sanger looks terrifying in his MMA gear with his black trunks. It's amazing. He's like, I've written down here, a terrifying Sebastian Turkai. Was that
Sylvester Turkey.
Sebastian Turkai.
I don't know.
It's all right, mate.
Is
Sorry.
he an MMA man?
The new ECW from.
Oh God, yeah, of course.
The funny thing was, they tried to hire him for years. He'd been in developmental for ages. And by the time he got there, Elijah Burke just overshadowed him in every single department. He looked like, if you think Jordan Devlin has a big head,
No.
Sylvester Turkey.
Yeah. You could literally put any window out in the world, even a bulletproof one. Just see you later.
The one-man pinata.
Yeah, but Dull Hudson's chest hair spot, where he pulled them out, I thought that was genius.
That no.
And Sanger's people elbow was great as well.
Yeah.
His people's elbow.
I like
Looked really heavy.
He's good.
We learned the New York Mets were gagging for cum inside of their franchise. This is Come Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh,
everybody.
of course. How could I forget?
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
He was a 3-sport athlete, you know. Cum himself. Okay, God damn. Has some really boring words for his opponent, Solo Sikoa.
Shut up. This isn't baseball. This isn't football. This is a fight. Solo Sikoa, it doesn't matter if it's the streets, the island, or in that ring. We're about to find out how tough of a fighter you really are. He said just like that.
They have 2 people talking for him and he's still at this meeting.
Shut up. This isn't baseball. This isn't football. This is a fight. Why? This is a fight. This is a fight. Just so it rolls. This is a fight. Why say it like that,
don't
man?
know.
You're not a robot, cum. You're a real boy.
You're a real.
Their match ends in a count out because they just can't keep their hands off each other. Bless. Their brawl lasts for ages. It lasts so long that tall, bald fella who lost his NXT debut to Samoa Joe after a really impressive few packages, has grown a beard. Was he called Dan Mather? I knew I recognised him. I knew it. Who's that lad? Dan Mather. That's right.
He's grown
Thank
a
you
beard.
for that. Eventually, Oliver Cromwell, I've ever got a stupid joke, puts her hands on Cum's tit and calms him down. Solo throws Robert Stone in the bin. God,
This was the segment of the week, obviously. I love the fact that when Combs making his entrance as well, and Solo's clearly run towards him, he just doesn't do anything, just waits for him to get there, and then he's just like, oh, now we're fighting, do it? What a weird man. This was just a showcase to show how much further ahead Solo Sikoa is than Come Tuesday. He's a better talker, he's a better wrestler, despite Come being longer. He's harder shoulder tackles and whatnot. I didn't think the match was up to much. I guess the finish was a bit predictable because they are so manly and so tough.
But I did like Cum getting Solo, which obviously he comes solo, and he bangs his head off the announce table and he no-sells it because he's Samoan. He's bringing it back.
Yes, see? Hardest heads
Yeah,
in
They
the
do have hard
game.
heads. It's a true story.
Yeah, that's right. It's just science. Carmelo and Trick are out the town with some honeys, speaking about their wrestling exploits next week. Despite this, the honeys don't leave. There is hope for all singletons. Listen to the pod worldwide.
Come on. Wrestling's cool. They had multiple women for each of them.
Yeah.
And they were talking about what they were wrestling last week.
Yeah.
And not one woman left. That's amazing, that, I think.
They go up to the penthouse and suckle champagne like there's no tomorrow. They look at their surroundings, realize how far they've come in life, and call themselves the dream team. Now we're in the pool. When will this night end?
When will it end?
Yeah.
I don't think it's still going on now.
It's having a good time.
Were we setting up for something between between Trick and Carmelo here? Because Trick was doing the whole like I'm dead good on whatever in the. This is where I think he said I'm a bad.
Mofo.
And then Carmelo was like, now, and let's settle down a little bit. There.
That's been a recurring thing when they do these segments, when the barbershop and stuff like that. It's like, I'm the best. He's like, well,
Yeah. Plus, they had all the honeys there, obviously. And they could have just been trying to impress the honeys.
I mean,
on
that's
that
true.
night.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
honeys at one point go, yeah, we know. Yeah, you're great.
Yes, we're all massive fans of NXT 2.0, they all said.
Wow, I'm such a fan. I'm watching NXT UK next time. All right. Don't overdo it. Cult leader Lash Legend can shoot dem hoops. She cuts a promo where she rolls her ball away.
Forgot about that.
Alba Fire stops it with her bat, symbolizing something. During their match, Alba appears on the era stage. Is that what it's called? Era stage?
I've called it the era stage because I always picture the Undisputed Era up there.
Oh, right.
yes.
That platform stage.
Oh,
thing.
okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
Well,
And
the Regal platform.
War Games.
I was calling it the Regal platform.
Yeah.
That works as well. And plays the basketball. Indy does a top rope Ethanator and reverses a Legend roll-up attempt to steal the win. After the bell, Alba proves why the Scottish aren't the best at cricket, as she fails to make contact with Legend while swinging her bat. Oh,
True story.
yeah.
It was a shame, obviously, about the finish and Indy having the big spill off the top rope and then the sort of messy pinfall that happened. But apart from that, I thought there was a nice tarantula stretch thing by Lash Legend in the middle of the ring, utilising her range and length in body.
What? Oh.
Well said.
She's tall, isn't she?
Yeah. Of course.
I don't know. I don't think we'll be telling. I don't think we'll be telling the grandkids about this match. To be fair,
But I'll say this: I did like Last Legend got a line beforehand. She got like 10 seconds to speak, but she said you got more chance of finding love on a dating app than beating me. That line hits different when you're in your 30s. Let me just say that. But yeah, she messed up the thing, but they did the quick small package, whatever.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
Yeah.
And don't worry, there's worse finishes to come. But who cares? Because Chase U head to London. They do things all tourists do that mustn't live up to expectations. Andre and Bodhi turn down National Gallery in favour of a trip to Buckingham Palace. Andre believes the Queen is a fan of Chase U. And then we learn the Andre Chase extension is getting added on the palace.
can you believe it? The Andre Chase extension on Buckingham Palace, the Queen's house.
Yeah.
I mean,
Whose house?
they deserve
Queen's
it.
house.
Exactly. Glenn then messed up because he dared to call Chase U 7th best. I was more impressed by the fact that, maybe Miles did deceive me, but they put the big Chase U flag on the palace.
On the palace?
Yeah.
They must have
Bollocks.
They must have done that. It looked like the gates to me. So they must have done that really quickly.
Yeah.
And then ran.
Yeah.
Because you fellas with your big
Yeah.
feathery
Yeah.
hats.
Step away from the guard.
The rifles and that.
Yeah.
I would just like to put out a big thank you to London Mayor Sadiq Khan. for putting a massive welcome sign on that National Gallery to obviously welcome Chase U to London. So thank you to Sadiq Khan. You are the best. I don't know what else he does.
Oh, okay.
I know what I'm doing, don't worry.
Good.
The way when he shouts, he's on about the extension as well. He just shouts, "We're royalty." Well, he says it quite subduedly, doesn't he? I thought that was a brilliant. He's a fantastic character.
I like them even more now they've been to London.
Sir Andre Chase, Duke of Newcastle.
Oh, he's getting knighted, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gotta be the Duke.
That's how it works.
He's got to be the Duke of somewhere, isn't he?
He'd be the Duke Hudson.
The Duke of Hudson.
He comes back and he goes, "That's my name."
Now you're actually called Dull now. I don't know why Andre Chase is a Cockney all of a sudden.
Because he's been to London.
Well, yeah,
That's why,
it'll
you
make
see?
sense,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
The Duke of Hudson.
We'll have it.
Sir Andre Chase. We never got to hear from what's her face again though. I always forget again. The lass who's there with them who annoys Bodie.
Oh God, what's it?
They sent her off to the National Gallery, didn't
They
they?
did, yeah. They sent her off for her own.
Yeah, take some
She's
pictures.
such a picture. Yeah.
Hello?
No one saw anything. The QR code loads up a game of Wardle. We know the last letter is a C, and there's an O in there too.
Oh, I've put the colours on there for
You have, haven't you?
Yeah, it's really good.
So
What do
people,
we think is
people are saying Havoc,
Yeah.
for Halloween Havoc. Not
Evil.
Jesus.
Come on now.
mm,
That's surely too much of a build, though.
We only know that the last letter is C.
See, yeah. And then,
So-
no, wait, and there's another word in there
Oh.
too. Oh,
I don't know.
Orange Cassidy.
Killer Croc?
Croc.
No, it's a Batman villain. Sorry. Cross is the other dude.
Croc.
Sorry.
Come. No.
Cock.
Tony and Stacks beat Edris and Malik. Tony wants Santos cronies to prove their loyalty to him, which they do by kicking Malik lots of times after the bell, but he's still unconvinced and does want to know where the loyalties lie. You can't tell. Is this angle ever going to bloody end? It's longer than all the Godfather films put together.
Ross,
Maybe.
being an aficionado of NXT 2.0,
Yeah.
you are, what is going on at the moment? Why are Phantasma with the...
How dare you ask that question?
I just want. I'm asking. I'm
Because there was a
genuinely
big
curious.
blow-off match where the two families were fighting with one another, and Tony won the match, which meant the Phantasma, you called him. How dare you?
Legado del Fantasma.
His name is Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar's family was absorbed into Tony's, but for some reason they haven't gone all the way with it.
Okay.
So they should have, obviously, the Escobar family dressing up like Tony's
Yeah,
family.
I thought that.
And speaking like them and stuff like that, but then they refuse to do it. And it's just a thing that continues each week and gets no better.
Oh, so this is not good then, is
No,
it not?
it's not,
No.
But they did kill off
I remember they killed
Two
off 2
times.
times. Yeah.
because he's been let go, which is funny because, R.I.P.
Oh, there.
They literally
Barry.
dumped him over and goes, "I can't believe he turned on me."
Thank you.
Speaking to them.
Sorry.
Still
I was too engrossed in. I need to know these things. So why is he in the? Because he got badly beat in his match. Is that why?
Oh no, I forget why Santos is in. I think
hospital.
Tony just put him in there randomly, didn't he?
I just
Because
there you go.
Santos was there, wasn't he? But then he wasn't. I can't remember the reason why. But he's been discharged
Discharged.
now.
Yes.
So he's
rehabbing at home.
He's
isn't
on
he?
the mend.
Yeah.
I thought
Thrilling stuff.
Edris was taking the piss in this match, though. My goodness. Edris Enofe, absolutely fantastic. And I don't know how he can say Elektra has been more of a loyal soldier than the lads has. Well, we've seen Elektra, have we?
She hasn't done anything.
What's she been doing, yeah?
Oh, that's why she's more loyal. Because she
Yeah.
hasn't done anything disloyal.
Yeah.
Because everyone's have been disloyal.
Yeah.
So technically he is right, which is the best way of being right. Nikita Lyons is the latest person to be asked about who attacked Roxanne. People have been messaging Nikita because they believe she would have the most to gain from Roxanne being injured. If she has a problem, though, she will say it to her face. It wasn't her. Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Or Pachiti. Got that caravan park.
I can't remember his other name now.
Let's move on from that. It says, Jesus Christ, not only is Axiom a genius of both maths and physics, he's also a superhero, which is some achievement when the Nigerian knight Apollo Crews is on the roster. Axiom remains anonymous, but it's not about him, it's about everyone else. I did like the fact he goes, I am anonymous. My name is Axiom.
Yeah. We know who he is,
minute.
but he's anonymous.
Yeah, but we don't know the face, do we? We don't know who he is. I mean, that could be Ricochet. The way he was flipping around that ring, that could be Ricochet.
It could be, but that's what I was thinking. What is this like their answer to Ricochet now? Maybe
Well, he was doing Ricochet.
he was doing the whole pose, wasn't he? He was doing.
He did the Ricochet.
I think it's fantastic how he's like, it doesn't matter about me. What matters is everybody else. That's a superhero I can get
And
around.
we're really going into the fact that he is a superhero, right? Because we had the whole thing last week where it was all the maths, all the equations, geniuses. A lot of superheroes are geniuses, Ross, you see.
Yeah. He'll just be like Bruce Wayne.
Goes hand in hand.
Bruce
We'll
Wayne's
see
got
Peter
no
Parker.
special superpower,
Well,
has
we'll
he?
say Peter
He's just
Parker.
got
Rich.
a boatload of
Yeah.
money and he buys a cool stuff and he uses the cool stuff on the baddies. So I hope Axiom solves some equations, gets a job on
was
Countdown,
thinking
gets
that.
the big bucks, and then comes back and beats
Mixes
up the baddies.
chemicals in the ring to make like a smoke bomb. And then he can, you see.
He needs an Alfred.
Oh, he does. Who could be
Axiom.
the Alfred?
Axiom needs
Robbie
a
Brookside.
Norman Smiley.
Oh my God.
Is he still there? I hope he is.
I don't
I
know if he
remember
is.
because he was never on camera anyway. So
Nah. Now he is.
I hope he is. Yeah,
He's,
well, now,
he's Axiom's Wilfred.
Yeah.
Wilfred? Alfred.
Oh yeah, I can't call him just literally Alfred.
Wilf.
I'd be really subtle, call you exactly the name of the thing we're naming you after. Manny says Roxanne, no one in general. What? Roxanne is no one in general. Is
Man,
woman
it's
enough?
Roxanne and no one in general.
And no one in general. Is enough to challenge her for the title. Cora Jade appears with a really long skateboard and says if her pal can't be in the match, she'll step in. Roxanne appears and Cora's like, you don't have to do it, but she does anyway. Mandy batters Roxanne, especially the battered ribs. And then Roxana makes a comeback. It's like Istanbul in 2005. Does anyone make it 3-3? Alonso, Roxanne, misses the rebound from the pen and it stays 3-2 to Milan.
Just like that.
Cora Jade turns on her pal by twatting her in the battered ribs with her title. Nobody saw this coming. And then the really long skateboard made from soggy biscuit snaps before it even makes contact Roxanne's back. Botchamania dude, don't be silly. Why would it do that? It was so weird because the crowd were going banana for Perez's comeback after the attempted parking lot murder. And then her getting battered down. She can make a comeback. They were really into this. They were going so well. I'm like, wow, they've actually got something here. And then she turned on them. And then Tom had the best bit on Twitter. He said, from the first time they turned up on TV the last night, Team 2001, which he calls them that, lasted 36 days.
That was their official name.
36 days.
Because they're both born in 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually called. Oh, Mr. Blinkton missed that. I'm sorry. I must have missed that. Sorry. I have a yogurt in my fridge that has now lasted longer than Team 2001, says Tom.
Don't eat it, Tom.
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's
for
a
yogurt
long
to be in
time
the
for a
fridge.
yogurt, that, innit? Come on now.
I don't know where you start unpacking this one. Either Cora's acting when Roxanne came out was either brilliant or terrible because she didn't look arse one bit. Either that's like the cold look of a psychopathic killer. We see that all the time, don't we? These documentaries. I watched that documentary this week on Netflix about the little girl who was stolen by the man and the man married her.
What?
I know what you're referring to. I haven't seen Netflix.
God,
That was a harrowing Wikipedia read.
Vince Russo put that thing together because the twists and turns on that thing just don't see him coming.
Do you remember what the
I can't remember what
documentary's
it's
called?
called.
I know the instant you're referring to. But
Yeah.
because, you know, all that stuff. But I don't
He's on it. Dan is on it.
Like a girl in the picture or something, isn't it?
Oh, is that what it is?
Not abducted in plain sight. That's the old. That's
the
been
other
I'll find it.
overtaken.
Yeah.
It's like the girl in the picture or something.
Okay.
I think it's called.
I'll
It's
look
an
out for that.
unbelievable documentary. But where we're going with
Well,
this?
if we think about it, if we think about how NXT 2.0 is, right, then yeah, she did a good job.
Yeah,
If you think about it,
that's not the right one, Dan.
it's all right.
The girl. There you go.
There we go.
You've only
Nice.
told them the name
Thanks,
3
bud.
times.
Mandy is like Triple H in 2003. More and more each week, I think.
Oh,
Just the way she's getting booked, the way she's wrestling. But Roxanne, I thought, you know, I know you get lost in the moment, but hitting a crossbody with your ribs, really? Come on now. You're going to be champion, are you? That's not champion material in my eyes.
Hey, Cody Rhodes can. That's an entire match.
Then she's doing these, after all this, like, I'm dying. These picture perfect roll throughs.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But yeah, and then obviously the skateboard will live on forever.
Yeah.
The turn, I don't know. It's as I said earlier, I'm really interested to see how Cora Jade is as a heel because she just seems too nice inherently to do that.
I don't know why they've done this
No.
at all. What a stupid. Look at this now, how wild that crowd was going. And I'm like, that now seems to turn after 36 days.
Tell you this,
I
Triple H
don't know
lad,
what they've done
he's
here.
come back and he's ruined it.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? Yeah, I don't like the storyline.
Hashtag
What's
not my
storyline?
NXT.
I don't even know if he's the head honcho these days, is he? I know Shawn Michaels was while he was gone.
Sorry, it's all right. He's I think he's got some semblance of creative control now, right? I think. But yeah, what's going to happen to the belts? The belts.
Cast aside like their main roster counterparts.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, maybe that's it then. Yeah. Oh, wait. Well, don't need these anymore then on the main roster. Operation Get Rid of all the women's tag team belts.
They've got a pretty stacked division, to be fair, with the I call them the Samba lasses. Whatever the names are, the really fancy names. Sanga's lasses, like those two. They've got the Cowie girls, Toxic Attraction, obviously.
Yep.
That's it.
To name a few.
So I will see what happens next week, I guess.
AEW. Best friends make it known they have managerial licenses thanks to Danhausen.
A right touch. Because of last week's storyline.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they're going to cheat on behalf of Orange Cassidy as he takes on Wardlow for the TNT title. Chuck Taylor gets a chainsaw out, which he's the best friends ejected by Baldy Bryce. None of you don't like him. Wardlow goes on to win a ding-dong battle after reversing the orange punch into a powerbomb out of nowhere with the sex pin for the win.
It's good.
Initially, I was thinking, why on earth, if they're giving babyface Wardlow this title, then his first defense is against a babyface who was more popular than him. But then we saw the sick, gnarly cartwheel out of an attempted DDT, and I was like, that's why. Because they're showing, as Jim Ross probably would call him if he was on commentary at the time, which he wasn't, a 5-2 player, by God. He can do everything. That's the first time I've seen that sort of agility. So I was like, that's why. That's why they've done it.
Yeah, they were a good. I think they were a good pairing because initially, I guess. Well, then again, actually thinking about it, whenever you hear someone go like, "Oh, Orange Cassidy's up against this person who's slightly bigger," everyone's like, "Why are they doing that?" But then, like, it makes sense when you actually finally see it. And I thought they worked really well. And I think, obviously, with the whole the bit beforehand backstage where they were like, "We're gonna cheat to win," I kind of.
Bit of doubt in the mind.
Yeah.
But then, after that first bit I said, then Wardlow beat down Orange Cassidy, the babyface who's more popular than he is, for ages, and the crowd died. So I was like, why have they booked this match? It should have just been shorter, shouldn't it, with a few more bombs here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
But they had to make both look good. Get the stuff in, as they say. And I think it worked well. Crowd very hot for it, especially towards the end. Where it's like, all right, who is going to win? Is Orange Cassidy? No! Powerbomb, sex pin.
Love the finish, like.
Very good.
Out of nowhere, powerbomb.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not a symphony, just a single.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Because you got to be a heel man doing that.
Show highlights from Pac vs. Shota. I've already talked about that. Jericho claims he is a living legend and Eddie Kingston's superior. What? And he is superior to Eddie Kingston. That's what. Okay, yeah.
No, he said Eddie Kingston's superior.
Yeah. He says, but the way you say that, it can sound like you're saying, no,
He's better.
he is superior.
Yeah.
He's superior.
It's like Dwight K. Schrute, isn't it?
He's the superior to
Yeah.
Jim.
Eddie Kingston is Chris Jericho's subordinate.
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, that's it. We got there.
He says being a friend to Eddie Kingston is a curse worse than anything Danhausen can do. Jericho won the first ever barbed wire match in Canadian history at the age of 22. He then announced the undefeated in AEW Painmaker is going to wrestle this match. Oh no. He then takes the piss out of Eddie's alcohol and mental health excuses and mentions Noah and his arc. Eddie responds by saying, look at what you did. Bring the most violent version of yourself. See what barbed wire everywhere. P.S. Shark Week, all this week on the network. Somebody will be in a shark cage. We don't know why and when, but good promo by Jericho, who's talked a lot of crap this week, has to be said.
Oh, is that the True Geordie thing?
Yeah.
I feel, because I think that was recorded literally after the first thing that came out about Vince. I think they released that after all the other stuff. I would like to think if Jericho was doing that interview after the other stuff came out, he'd say something a bit different. But I think that was him just
But even
reacting
after
to
the
that.
first bunch of stuff coming out, it's still...
Wait,
even then, it's still not good.
well, no, it's immoral, isn't it? But like as he said, it's not illegal. But again, he's
Oh, yeah, well done,
he's
Jericho.
trying to get money out of Vince McMahon in the future, I assume. So he's trying not to burn that bridge, I guess.
Stupid idiot.
Yeah. I thought Jericho's promo could have been about 5 minutes shorter. I thought the only thing he said of worth is that the Painmaker's coming back. Yeah. And he thinks a lot of people put more stock into that than, what am I saying here? I think he thinks it's a lot more beloved by people than it actually is.
It's his Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
And it's not that way.
It's not.
It?
Yeah,
No.
he just put beep.
A bit of like Clockwork Orange, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, it was meant how that promo was that long, that Eddie was that long and just said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy that this is going to be finished next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so am I.
Very much
But
so.
he listened to his podcast about his pulmonary embolism.
I listened to the write-up about it, happening in Newcastle, the Riverside.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the first noticed it. That's why he had to cancel dates and tours because he was out of breath the first time doing his singing.
Yeah, he just said that's basically why this feud's gone the way in the directions it has done, and the JAS wouldn't have happened without it and stuff like that. So it's horrible to listen to what he went through, but he got quite lucky with his bloody private medical care and whatnot, and his rock doctor.
He did say rock doctor. Yeah.
So
is that someone he takes on tour with him?
Just someone in the UK who comes out to, I assume, just tour and acts.
Oh wow!
And then just.
Dr. Feelgood, they call him.
That's bloody good, that. Bloody good.
Right. John Moxley beats our favourite.
Takeshita.
That's right. In a ding-dong battle to end them all.
Another
title eliminator. And I still touch it because Moxley's obviously the world champion, but you have to beat him to get that shot because he's a defending guy, but it wasn't for the title. He is so good now that towards the end of the match, Moxley was power up and kicking out of moves, and there were some people in the crowd going, boo.
Yeah.
Like, bloody hell, you've just got in. People love you.
I think the seeds have been sown to get Takeshita in the BCC.
I can see that.
I think so as well.
Regal noted on commentary that when the BCC are training, there's always one guy lurking in the corner, a dirty, scrappy pervert that he is, and it's Mr. Takeshita. I thought this match was pretty much like when Wheeler Yuta had that match with Moxley. And it was when Takeshita started bleeding, I was like, oh, it reminds me of the star-making Yuta match. And I guess Yuta had less stock in him than Takeshita did last night at this point, but I thought it was pretty much the same sort of thing.
I think that's a good shout, actually, because I think he's already done quite a lot in DDT since he's been there. And he's been there for a while, I think, too. So this would seem like, and with the way that he's over with the fans, I think it'd be the natural progression to stay in AEW, I think.
And he wrote his graduate thesis on a German suplex.
He did.
Right about that, yeah.
What a man. What a man.
How would you do that?
I don't know. Did it say what grade he got for it?
I'm guessing an A plus because the ones that he pulls out are phenomenal.
No. So you mean an S grade?
S tier.
That was
S
a nerdy
plus.
thing. I'm sorry.
I didn't get it.
Brody King says he's getting his, there we go, by taking Darby Allin's chips.
He's getting his by taking Darby's. Getting his. He's getting his. What's he getting?
His chips.
His.
Footage is showing of Brody smacking Darby around at meet and greet over the weekend. Good on you, Brody.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't reference the footage at the end of last week. Oh, no, they did, sorry.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did.
'Cause it was weird how they didn't do it on Rampage, but they did it here.
Yeah.
The stuff that might have been left in by mistake, we don't know. On the fight
It's
team.
always weird, isn't
yeah.
it? Like it cuts to black and then it comes back again.
Yeah, and then he was wanting Malachi was like, oh, it'll be okay. Don't
People
worry.
tweet like, oh, Tony, we can still see everything. I was like, shut up, you idiot. Christian Cage says, just like Jungle Boy, Brian Pillman had a father, and he believes Brian Pillman Sr. was average at best and not a multi-time world champion like he is. He thinks Pillman Sr. would be appalled that his final contribution to the business was Brian Jr.
Go on, then.
I agree with the last bit, but not the first bit. Christian thinks Griff, he said Griff put you online, and you're like, I'm trying to figure out why I don't like this picture of you. It's because you look like Jungle Boy. Crowd didn't react for that. I thought that was a joke that we all don't love, but apparently not. And that's why Luchasaurus wants to beat him up. Luchasaurus beats him up and then to put Griff through Brian and a table via chokeslam after 2 attempts because Brian Pillman is so thick.
Yes. He is.
Wait for it. Penny. Is it dropping? Because he's stupid.
Oh.
That's the same WWE. He's stupid AF.
Oh, God. Well, I've just demonstrated that right there.
Bless you, pal.
Jesus Christ.
But,
oh, my God.
I was like, is this a bit he's doing? But no, it's not.
No.
He's both thick. CC, but also thick as in stupid.
I'm just thick stupid, me.
And he got a nice arse.
Oh, thanks. I'll take that. I'll
Dan's
take that
thumbs
from
up, you see.
Dan's got his thumb. There we go. Yeah.
approval from the bleachers. So
They've reined Christian in this week, which I thought was
they
a bit...
reined him in.
Aye, right
Your
the day.
dad dead. Your dead dad was mid.
They've reined him in. That's reined in.
Let him go off.
Compared to the last 2 weeks, of course it is.
Oh, well, your dad's dead. He wasn't even good to begin.
Yeah, he was
is being-
rubbish.
Dad, can we have MJF? But we have MJF at home. Wow.
I love how Christian dresses me these days. It just reminds me of like a Team America villain. I don't know why.
But
Just
like
the turtleneck and that on.
Yeah.
But last week he got cut off when he was about to explain why Luchasaurus was aligned with them, and we still didn't find out this week. 'Cause that's the one big letdown for this storyline for me. Because when we watched AEW at the start, Luchasaurus was a dinosaur with a master's degree, and he's very eloquent.
Yeah.
And over time, he's just gone "Bleh," all the time, and now we don't know why. So we need that bit filled in, and we need it filled in soon.
Ooh.
Tony Tone.
That's right, fill him in, Tom.
Aye.
Tony Schiavone has a knife pulled on him by Cool Hand Ange. Calm down, it's just a comb.
Calm down. I thought it was a knife at the start.
I did see like, he's got a switchblade now. What's happening here?
The JAS ask how high the shark cage is going to be up next week and why Eddie's pals won't be in one of their own.
Valid point.
That is a good point.
Because also, I thought it was interesting how there was just the three of them in the promo. No Ty Conti, no Sammy Guevara. Jake Hager was probably getting ready for his match, but still, are they going to have 6 people in a cage? 'Cause that seems very dangerous.
Well, Shark Week, sharks, dangerous.
I know,
dangerous time. Barbed wire everywhere.
There's no sharks in the
I hadn't
arena.
thought about this, you're right. Yeah, there's so many of them. I think I've like different cages up, or they could have 2 of them in the cage and the 4 are going to interfere anyway.
Yeah, because I don't know if they try to get the way out of it just by obviously Sammy not being on last night's show and Ty Conti, as we'll get on to later, setting up a feud for herself finally.
No, right.
Well, weird. We'll get on to it later.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if they are going to have all 6 of them in there, that'll be interesting.
That'd suck. Hangman is interrupted
Sammy
by...
and Ty will start shagging. Can't find space for that long.
More like the shark cage.
It's Shag Week.
Barrett's favourite week of the year. Hangman is interrupted by Silver and Reynolds, and a 6-man tag is set up for Rampage because they want to take on the House of Black, I believe.
Yeah. I liked Johnny Silver. Johnny Silver, long boy Johnny Silver, calling the House of Black spooky perverts. Yeah. Like people used to do about the Dark Order back in the day.
Yeah.
Nice bit of symmetry there.
There you go.
That's long-term storytelling.
And it really is, because Hangman is still hanging out with Dark Order.
Yeah.
Because they drop off every week, I guess. Like leaves on an autumn
That's
tree.
why he just ignored them for ages because he couldn't stand Alan. Now Alan's gone.
And now he's gone, he's come back in.
That troublemaker Alan's gone. Claudio Castagnoli defeats Jake Hager in another ding-dong battle to end up. God, a lot of them this week, haven't we? With a Ricola bomb. What a frickin' animal, JR says, contributing to that. It's amazing that the Real Americans were only around from July 2013 to April 2014.
That is.
But it feels like they made such an impact when they didn't win any tag titles. We just had a lot of promos thanks to Dutch.
Yeah.
And people still do the thingy thing.
It was a good match, this as well.
Oh, my God.
Like, really, I think this was like Hager's best match.
Oh, 100 miles an hour all the way through. It was fantastic.
So
and Claudio's still able to do the stuff he does to, guys built like Ricochet or whatever, to Jake. And you're like, whatever. He makes it look normal. Jake's huge.
I was thinking towards the end as well, is Claudio just trying to blow up, as the wrestlers say, Hager? Because, like, by the time at the end of the match was coming, he was doing the swing, all the big moves and whatnot. Hager was, like, dripping in sweat.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously, you can see why, because it was 100 miles an hour for ages. But Claudio was just, like, bone dry. Just like, fine. I was just like, is this a rib on behalf of Claudio to his old pal Jake Hager? And Hager does a rock bottom now. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Eee.
He's going to do that in his next MMA fight when he fights a builder. Lexi Nair asks Hook that since he's undefeated, could a title be in his future? Hook says nothing. 5 stars.
Hook needs to start saying things.
Yeah, but when Hook does say things, it's not that good, is it?
Oh, he quoted some sort of novel or something the other week.
Pretty pants when he got, I can't remember his name, when he got him on the sofa.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Alex Marvez. Nothing untoward happened, by the way, when he said
No.
he got on the sofa.
Well, I mean, we don't know what happened when the cameras went off, but I'm not a fan of him not speaking. And at the moment, I'm not a fan of him speaking. I like him in the ring when he's in for the whole 5 seconds he's in there, but
Make him a thespian, you cowards.
yes.
Something like, whoa, like Sergio Mel.
Yeah.
That sort of cadence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Have
I'm
breaks
Hook.
out
Will he be
everywhere.
having a title match? Verily. Thunderstorm have their own T-shirts, even though Tony supposedly wants the title still. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter make their triumphant return and bring out a sandbag, because that's what you use when there's a
Get it?
thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Because they actually deal with the water rising up.
Yes.
A sandbag.
And because Tony and Marina Shafir.
Yes.
Sandbag.
Yes.
Get it?
I think we all decided that one move. What was I saying beforehand about, Natalia sits up after one thing and suddenly we're right. It's in the storylines. Britt walks away after giving Shibari the sandbag and says, try carrying that for a month. Get it? Thunder Rosa says, can't wait to bury you with it. Get it? This was rubbish.
It was rubbish. But to be fair, I think Thunder Rooster. I think she
new
proved,
Pokemon.
She proved that one to be true, though, because she gave Marina Shafir some bread.
Yeah, they broke bread.
Yeah.
They literally broke bread.
So we'll apologise, innit? Here's some bread.
some bread.
Sorry for sandbagging you.
Next time we should really go into it because I apologize. I gave her some potatoes.
I think we were saying we just wanted it to be like a loaf of harvest.
Oh,
Sliced already.
Slice it in half.
come on, I spent £1 on this. Oh, yeah.
This was bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's bad. These type of things are very common in AEW, like Christian or the Young Bucks say these insider stuff. But the big difference is the crowd always go wild whenever those lads do it. But these people doing it, it was just like, oh yeah, that thing.
By and large,
Thing that happened.
I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but it feels like I am. But by and large, it's not like insider terminology like that sort of stuff. It's always like insider references, like if you know wrestling law, like Brian Pillman and whatnot. It's not like
I think it happened a few times. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
yeah, you know what I mean. Though.
I do know
I don't know if I'm right or not. I'm probably wrong. I'm always wrong.
you're always right.
You're not
Ross.
always wrong.
What are you talking about?
Silly boy.
First, last name right, first name always. Serena Deeb.
This is not Maffew. Maffew Wright.
Oh, right. Okay. I've got a few seconds.
Cultaholic.
Where is he now? Serena Deeb defeated Anna Jay with a Serenity Lock in Anna Jay's hometown and in front of Anna Jay's family.
Yeah.
After the bell, Serena won't let go of the hold, which brings out Mercedes Martinez to save the day. Later, doctors are checking on Anna Jay before her former best friend, Tay Conti, appears. Anna turns into a child, which she says, well, at least I didn't slam Ruby's hand into the door. Tay says, well, if you did, you might be on TV more.
Which is a weird thing for her to say, because since she's aligned with Sammy Guevara, I've written it down there, haven't I?
Yeah. Tay then says Anna needs to make better choices for her career, just like she did when she went from challenging for AEW Women's title on pay-per-view to not wrestling on TV for months. I don't know if she's injured, but Tay's last AEW match was at Double or Nothing, and she's only wrestled in 6 matches across all of AEW shows since the turn of the year.
Wow.
Those are Tyler Bate numbers.
Yeah.
No way.
That's on Cage Match as well, so it's a verified source in the world of professional wrestling. So that was a weird thing for her to say, but I guess that's the point, since she's a dastardly heel these days.
She is.
Maybe, or maybe it's just an oversight, who knows?
So you have to just guess when it comes to these women's segments backstage. God.
The match itself, though, Deeb wrestled circles around Anna Jay and did more like pro wrestling showboat and stuff compared to normal, which I thought was
I love that. When she
nice
was trying to
touch.
get the crowd behind her.
Blowing
Oh, it
kisses
was
to the
very
family
good.
and whatnot. And then she did this submission, which came third in my move of the week, where she sat on the back of Anna Jay's neck while Anna Jay was sat on the mat and pulled her arms back.
Yeah.
I forget the new move that, but
That's the first time I've ever seen
Very
that.
good.
makes you back feel nice if you do it properly, I guess.
Oh, really?
Does it? I love a good back crack.
Do you?
You know what I mean? Yeah. It feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like the Canadian backbreaker as well. That's a perfect one.
Oh.
Whenever I see that move, whenever you see that move, you know, when I'm watching 1960s wrestling, Canadian backbreaker, you see that, you're like, oh, it looks like it feels so good. Anyway, Jade Cargill isn't worried about these pigeons called Athena and
Did
Chris
you say
Statlander.
pigeons?
Pigeons.
I might have been watching it a bit quicker this week, the old AEW. And I swear she said pigeons.
Well, they do spread disease, so it's a
Yeah.
good insult.
True.
I apologise if she didn't say pigeons.
Jade still doesn't like the fact that Layla Gray is there with them. We learn that Stokely Hathaway is for the baddies, like Wu-Tang are for the children. I love Stokely so much.
He's fantastic.
And then the main event, in a surprising decision, I thought,
man.
just shows what I
Yeah.
know, it's the Triple or Nothing tag team title match, 3-way dance. The Young Bucks defending against Swerve and Keith and Team Taz. Swerve and Keith win their tag titles.
Man, I thought we were going to see one of them go to Team Taz. That was in my mind for the longest time, and I thought it was going to happen. But I'm really happy that they won the.
But I think you're forgetting the main question in all of this.
Can they coexist?
Exactly.
Yay.
Can they coexist?
Because he had the belt. He had the belt, didn't he? Towards the end,
Exactly.
he was like,
Well,
wait,
for
am I gonna hit him?
the last few weeks, Andrew, since a Battle Royal, which I forget what the Battle Royal was for. What was it for?
Was that not for the interim? For the
Yeah, challenge Moxley. Yeah.
That's right.
During that one, I don't know if you saw it there, Andrew. Swerve threw out Keith.
I did
And since
see.
then, there's been trust issues.
yeah.
So now with the titles around their waists, can the two of them coexist?
Look, it's been a good
Don't
week
we-
for Russo-ism.
I thought this big Willie Hobbs in this match.
Oh my god!
When he was doing those spine busters at the end, my table went
Yeah.
lifted a little bit because I was getting going. So I was, and his frog splash as well on Keith.
Yeah.
Literally half to 3/4 of the way across the ring. What a guy!
What a man.
I was so excited for this because it was Big Move City.
Yeah.
And I was so excited going, Team Taz are going to win it. Ricky Stark's going to be the first double champion. I think, is he? I think so. This is obviously
Is
the
he still-
FTW title.
Is he still?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
He came out with it. He came
that's
out with the
never
belt.
defended.
It's been there for that long. It just sort
Yeah.
of blends
It's
into
just
him
part of
now.
the decoration right now. But I was like, they're going to win. They're going to win. There's no way the other ones are going. I was gutted. But it was a very good match. it's going to be interesting seeing where they're going. Keith Lee looked great here, doing
they all
Keith Lee
did.
stuff and doing a dive out this. Some people have been very critical of Keith Lee.
Why?
I'm like, because, I don't know, just get.
Mm.
You need to go out more. But Keith Lee looked great, still amazingly able to do the dives over the top rope and everything else like that. Got to hit the cool moves. This was awesome. Young Bucks still getting cheered, even though the cheating bastards, which I'll never understand, that's AEW fans for you. But loved it.
Nick,
I would have loved it
all of
even
it.
more if the team I want to win won. Because I can be a big kid watching these things. But overall, though, lovely main event here. Lovely match.
I was going to say, they all had their moments. It was like very like, you have your moment to shine, then you have your moment, and it worked very well. Put together very well, I thought. But Nick Jackson as well at the start with Swerve. That thing over the top rope, where they both, I don't know what happened there.
Because the camera didn't really show it, and it looked like Swerve had just done like a front flip, kind of like the Ricochet thing, you know. Because we know he likes to do the handstand out of the ring, but it looked like he might have done like a full-on flip. I enjoyed the part where we saw like all the teams. There was like different members of each team working together to do a move on someone else. So we saw like different dynamics between like team members.
Yeah,
I thought that was really
both
cool.
walking the ropes at the same time.
Yeah.
And then both
It was so good. This match was just like it was mint. It was really good.
And that little tease at the end there, because you had the tease with Swerve maybe hitting Keith with a belt. Then the Bucks came in and cheated, and he's like, oh, well, they won the match, haven't they? But they haven't, and then they lost.
Because his shoe came off.
Yeah.
And when the shoes come off,
They always come off.
but when they come off in the title match, that usually means they're going to lose.
I love that
right?
they battered him and they're like, not the knockoff brand.
How dare you? They're real Stussy dunks or whatever.
Remember that from 2 years ago? Like, look, we've got these really expensive boots. Everyone, trainer Twitter got a hold of them, went, nah, they're the knockoffs.
Oh, really?
Did that happen?
Remember that? Oh, it was a big state. Obviously, I don't know that much about it, but they so like, haha. And like, oh, that'll be their gimmick. I'm like, is it though? Do they know they're bootlegs? This is a weird thing I got out of control, but yeah, what a good week for wrestling, puns, and wrestling from 1998. So thank you very much. That was the week of wrestling. Let's move on to the next bit.
Let's have a rummage in our mail bags.
Let's have a little look in the mailbag. Ooh. Hey, diddlers. Hey, that's us. Insert long-winded unrelated life. That was a good laugh. Unrelated life story. So my question is, with the average AEW Championship reign being on the longer side, and with Moxie, well, once that the tag titles, and with Moxie becoming the first multiple champion, who do you think will be the biggest names on the roster that will never hold the belt? Thank you for your content, Jerry from Georgia.
Daniel.
Georgia. Thank you very much, Jerry.
Would you mind putting the AEW roster page on the screen so we can look down and not forget any names?
Thank you.
I mean,
then we'll
there's so
scroll
many
down.
There
good
is a lot.
names.
You know the first name I thought
Go
of
on.
there? Pac.
Oh.
The big one, yeah. That's why they invented the AEW All-Atlantic title, probably.
You think Adam Cole will?
I don't think Orange Cassidy will.
I don't think he should either.
No.
I know he's really popular, but
Well, he's had he had that the world title match with Pac and Kenny Omega, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it was really
That was a
really good
mint
too.
match.
And that was it almost felt like he was going to get it at one point too.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn.
I mean,
Look at that picture
he
there,
could.
Billy Gunn.
God.
Oh, what about Andrade? That just went past as well?
Andrade, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Danielson will eventually.
Yeah.
Buddy Matthews, I don't think will.
No.
Christian Cage won't.
Could we see Cesaro getting the big one in AEW?
Oh, it would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
I think Hook will be someone that'll just be like an Orange Cassidy role where he'll be
Yeah.
walking outside of it. Maybe like a Danhausen type, but he'll never get it. God, I hope Eddie Kingston wins it eventually.
Darby?
Yeah, me too.
Eddie should do. Darby?
Nah, Darby won't.
Darby won, I don't think. Fuego?
Hager should.
No. No.
After last night's
After last
performance.
night, actually, yeah.
Aye, put those matches
Thinking
up,
about
those
it.
5-star promos. That's a world champion. There.
Deeply want to appreciate him as a tag team too much.
What do we reckon
Chip
about
Saber's
Jungle
still there.
Boy?
Jungle
Going out
Boy
on his-
will.
Yeah.
He's one of the four
He's one of the
pillars.
4 pillars, yeah.
You know,
that's true.
actually, I think that's a good thing. I don't think he will. But
No.
You don't think he will?
if Tony Khan's current thing is, okay, I'm going to be dealing with you until someone newer and cooler comes along.
Yeah.
I think Jungle Boy's going to be one of those class of 2019 lads that we've seen who's just not going to be there.
Okay.
I would love to be proved wrong because I think he's mint, but
Luchasaurus won't.
Yeah.
Unless I think if he loses his mask, he could do.
no, I want him to keep the mask.
Yeah,
I know it's
me
nice.
too.
but
I
it's
like
not-
the dinosaur
I know,
thing.
but we're
Nice.
saying if they're going to be a world champion, I don't think a world champion can be called Luchasaurus, can they? I'm sounding like a 50-year-old sad act, aren't I?
Yeah, that's exactly what Cornette's thing was about El
Yeah.
Generico being like a headliner for Ring of Honor and being the champion. He's like, well, not the champion, but just headlining. It's like, his name's El Generico. And he goes, Olay for his promos. What are we supposed to do with this?
Max Caster as world champion.
Oh,
That's where it's at.
please.
Miro is,
Oh, Miro will.
Do you think he will?
He's been booked that strong.
Yeah.
He's taking down God, for goodness sake.
I think Miro could win it next week.
Malachi Black, do we think he ever will?
He probably should do.
I think he should do.
I think Malachi Black would be one of those things like, everyone else is injured. Malachi Black could be someone.
I really want the whole entire House of Black to have each of the belts.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of talent, Ray Fenix could win it. He won't. But...
No, he won't. Powerhouse might. Powerhouse.
Because we're thinking about what we're talking about AEW like in years to come.
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara.
Oh, that's a good show.
He probably will. Sean Dean's still there.
Yes.
The captain.
The cap.
Captain himself.
Aye. Sean Spears.
I would love the Butcher to win it because I love how cool he looks, but he's not.
He's
He better get a tag match win now.
Make the Butcher a heel and have him be like a proper 80s, like old-fashioned throwback heel. That'd be amazing, that.
Wardlow, I don't think he will.
No.
I think he's like, you know how like Kane would be someone that they'd use if everything else is like, they can't be. Wardlow would be a guy to like, open challenge time and Wardlow come out. But
to be fair, Wardlow can't really talk, can he?
Well, I mean,
he loves talking about how much he dislikes MJF for real.
This time.
Is that real, is it?
You know, the whole thing I've lost in, everyone's moved on because wrestling news cycle, but it seems weird that he'd now come out and say that he doesn't like him for real. And I'm like, yeah, but you're being serious now. Like, it's also odd. Anyway, that was nice.
Yeah,
We've
that
just
was.
booked about 50 champions there.
Yeah,
for the next 20 years, sort of.
$5 well earned. Afternoon, chaps. How does it feel to have my dream job? This is not my main question. I have been listening to you guys the past couple of years now after getting back into wrestling in 2018. Loving the excellent content, especially the podcast, as I listen to them on my 4-hour journey to and from work each week. Bloody hell. Ooh. Prior to 2018, I watched WWE as a 10, 11-year-old in 08-09. Not a long period, I know, but it was a huge part of my life at this time. I then stopped watching when I discovered The Outside. When I returned to wrestling in 2018, one of the things that shocked me the most about the 10-year period I missed was that the streak had been broken. Not only that, but it was broken by someone I'd never even watched wrestle before. I had just missed out on the Ruthless Aggression era, so never got to see Brock Lesnar. Also up there was the fact that the WWE champion was this random southern bloke with the haircut of a middle-aged white woman. I ain't talking about AJ Styles, of course. Oh, thank you for narrowing it down. I was always a casual fan, so I had no idea who this guy was. So my question to you is, has there ever been a time where you stopped following wrestling for a period? And if so, what was the strangest thing you discovered happened on your return to wrestling? Cheers for all the content, boys. Much love. Former Wigan Athletic striker, Hugo Rodagella, a.k.a. Oscar from Edinburgh. Thank you very much, Oscar.
So we've all covered how we've all had little bits off. I don't think you have you?
I was able to watch wrestling because my dad went, no, when I wanted to watch it. So I read Power Slam magazine every month. And Power Slam magazine's obviously a very good way of getting to know what's happening, some cynical opinions. But they didn't really explain to me, because they assumed everyone's watching the TV, right? Who this new guy who was a champion called JBL. And they would show pictures of him. I'm like, no, but who is this? Who is this? And then one time they typed in Justin Bradshaw Leafield. And I went, I know this is Bradshaw, but who is this and why is he champion? Like, it blew my mind. And it was a very quick period of dumping Farouk. And then he shaved his face and then stopped dyeing his hair and then was suddenly feuding with Eddie Guerrero for the world title. And then he fast forward a month and he was world champion. Couldn't get over that. Still insane looking back in hindsight. Obviously, he made the most of it.
He was good, though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, for the first few months, it didn't look great. But then, yeah, towards the end, it's like, oh, yeah, good old JBL. Just like, Bradshaw's the champion. All right, okay. What about you, Ross?
My spell away came from like 06-ish, well, 07-ish, I should probably say, until the Arse End of 2011 when Kane brought his mask back, and then the Royal Rumble of 2012 was my way back in for some reason. So the main one was obviously the anonymous general manager, that entire thing, and how that ended up.
No.
So obviously Hornswoggle and
yeah,
your Matthew's real life friend, Hornswoggle, former Raw general manager.
my real life friend.
So probably that one, yeah. Obviously I remember being in physics class was it June afternoon, and the Benoit thing happening in the classroom live as it broke over here in the UK. So that was obviously a weird thing as well. But
well, watch what you say, or hello Jericho 5K. Amazing.
Burning hell. He murdered his bloody family, for goodness sake.
Yeah. My drop off was a large period because I got into music and stuff. So just before I went to college, so 2010, 2009, 2010 until about maybe 2016. I was like off it for the longest time. So yeah, like what Ross said, all the Raw GM stuff, which to this day still confuses me sometimes, trying to go back and figure out what was going on there was a strange thing. And then still being kind of like not sort of looking here and there, but not being like super on it every week. The streak thing completely just obliterated me. I was like, how is this even a thing?
Obliterated.
I know what he did because when you're a kid, that's one of the things, right? They always build up how big the streak is and how much of a thing that you would assume they'd keep the legacy of that for the whole entire run of The Undertaker's career, wouldn't you? And then to hear like, oh, it's been ended by Brock Lesnar. It was actually one of the shocking things that made me go, oh, maybe I should dip my toe back in again and kind of see what's going on, because it sounds too unreal for my mind to comprehend, but it was real and I was sad. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Hello to all, and I hope the day is well. Recently, I've been enjoying Michael Cole in his current run as a commentator. He seems to be enjoying his work more than ever, and it shows each and every show since Pat McAfee has joined the SmackDown commentary team. My question is, what is your favourite and least favourite Michael Cole moment? Thanks for all, and I hope you have a splendid day. Chris from Lacey, Washington. Thank you, Chris.
Cheers, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Best moment, No Way Out 2004, Brock versus Eddie, and Eddie's coming into the ring, and Michael Cole, I forget the first bit of it, but it's something on the lines of, Eddie's been through hell, he's had to rebuild his life and his career back. Tonight, will there be a way out for Eddie Guerrero? And I was like, Michael Cole said that? Wow, all right. And it was really made for an amazing moment and match. I'll give him all the credit in the world for that. Because I was like, wow, Michael Cole can really pull the strings when he needs to. Worst heel Michael Cole, 2011.
Oh, I thought WrestleMania was good.
What?
It wasn't long enough. It wasn't long enough.
What about yourself, Rob?
Well, since you've taken that one for the worst, I'll throw in there For the Love of Mankind. Well, sorry, For the Love of Mankind, as you look back at the replay and see him reading. And one for me that sticks out is Triple H's entrance. Was it for the match with Batista? Or maybe it was, I'm getting my ears mixed up here, maybe. And there was silence from the commentary team after this amazing entrance happens. And he's like, wasn't that so cool, guys? It's like, in that moment there, the fact you said that, Michael Cole, means it's not. So thank you for ruining it. But best one, obviously, Bryan at WrestleMania 30 sticks out. Even before Pat, the lockdown episode when he was on commentary with Triple H.
That was going to be
a good one.
One of mine there, because I think.
Sorry, Andrew.
No, it's all right. I think I think more recently, obviously, he's said it himself. He's been reinvigorated by having Pat and everyone on there. So that like I got the memory of a goldfish. So those ones kind of stick out to me quite a bit because, I mean, in a time where you can't feed off the energy of the crowd and what's going on, I think he brought a lot of. I think he's really good, you know. I think he's really good at building up the stories and kind of recapping what's happened and before going into like a big match, so you kind of caught up if you've missed anything, sort of thing. So I think he's really good at that, and all those sort of moments stick out, especially the fun he had with Triple H and whatnot. The worst ones are when he was heel, like insufferable. Yeah. But I get like. That's what's heel supposed to be like, right? But maybe it's insufferable to the point of where it's like
unwatchable.
Yeah,
like, okay, cool. I'm switching off the telly now.
Yeah.
It must be unbearable as well having that job for that long. Like the Vince McMahon commentary role, where all you need to do is get the slogans across and this event's coming up and here's this buzzword and this catchphrase. Because it seems that that's sort of gone away for a bit now that Pat's come. Because obviously Michael's made a big thing about how Pat's reignited the fire.
Yeah.
Pat's love is Maggle's only desire.
It's the young dog teaching the old dog new tricks.
Yeah, but it seems that like Vince McMahon like being there in his ear, making him deaf in one ear legitimately.
Right.
That seems to have lessened off a bit and he's just having a good time with his pal at ringside.
Yeah.
So that's the best move they've done in many years for the comedy.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. What a lovely question.
Yes.
A lovely mailbag section. If you have any mailbag thoughts, queries, or stories you just want to say because you're bored out of your mind, we understand. Please send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. Oh, bless you.
That was really odd, that.
Wrist piss. Hello, lads of the pod, easy for me to say. Big fan of the podcast and the channel in general. As with many who seem to write in. I've been along for the ride since the Name Redacted days and catch the podcast every week and most of the news videos. I occasionally skip some if I haven't watched a certain show and think there may be spoilers afoot. Ooh, like someone who uses afoot in a sentence. This is particularly inspired by an old debate I used to see come up now and again back in the archaic wrestling forum days. Oh, this is one for me. Below, I'll give you 2 wrestlers from the mid/lower card of the Attitude Era. I would then like you to look at the careers of both as you knew it from that period, as I mentioned a specific era, and tell me who you think would be easier to turn around the booking of to make them into a credible main event threat or talent, even if it is just for half a year run in that realm. Feel free to mention how you think it could be done, or just say a name and move on to the next.
So
Okay.
We'll be given a name in a period of time.
Yeah.
After what happened from that point onwards, which one would be easier to make a main event?
Yeah. That kind of makes sense. We'll go through fastest thought first. You. Albert or Maven?
Maven.
Maven. Drop kick the Undertaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
What did Albert ever do?
2004-5 time. He was a main eventer.
Yeah.
Survivor Series. He won Survivor Series. It was like, Maven's got the shot. All right. Maven, Nitro.
He
Yeah.
was Coachman's main guy.
Yeah.
He had the sass he could have been in. Albert had less than Maven.
Yeah.
A lot less. Yeah, Maven would have been easy. Road Dogg or Al Snow?
Oh. Ooh. Road Dogg.
Yeah, Road Dogg.
Road Dogg was one of the biggest stars of that period.
Yeah.
No matter what they tell you.
Yeah, 99.
And Al Snow was a guy. Joey Abs or Funaki?
Funaki.
As a main eventer. Well, yeah, Funaki.
I think so.
Joey Rodney, I always thought Rodney was the worst of the 3. I know he called them the 3 horsemen there. The worst
That's
of
what
the
they'll do one year. They'll induct Ole as one of the Mean Street Posse.
I always thought Rodney was by far and away the worst wrestler of the 3, which I know is a hard thing. But he always stuck out to me. So, but no, we'll go Funaki. He had the
I think the crowd would be behind
the
Funaki.
charisma, yeah.
Wouldn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, as long as he always has the APA with him
Yeah.
at ringside for the title shots. Gangrel or Val Venus?
Oh.
There's no time period there mentioned for Val Venus. That's crucial, isn't it? Is it porn star? Is it like 2000 trance loving Val Venus?
Serious Val Venus.
Is it Chief Morley?
No, God, no.
I guess Val Venus.
I can't
think
see-
Val Venus.
Val Venus was much better on the mic than Gangrel, but
Yeah.
there's no way I could see, like, I'm the top star around here. Porn star. I can't see that working.
He'd have the towel. He'd have the belt on underneath the towel, and then he'd like dance it off.
And his cock
And then his willy would be
below.
like,
Want to kiss the 10 pounds of gold? Yeah. That'd be fun, but I can't see it. But Gangrel, be like, I'm a vampire. Blah.
"Meh."
Oh, they played into it and goes, I beat Lutez. I wrestled in the Greek Roman time. What time was it?
Imagine that storyline. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying Val Venus.
I'll say Val Venus. I'm sticking with Val
4
Venus.
for goodness sake.
I want 10,000-year-old Gangrel. I've done everything else in the world. Now I'm going to become world champion of wrestling. Midian, Ministry of Darkness era, or Kurgan, Oddities era.
Oh.
As a kid, I loved Midian,
I was
but he was
gonna-
rubbish.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, Kurgan is at least huge.
And he had good music.
He did.
Yeah. I want to hear the greatest show. Yeah. Yeah, that 2 things going for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurgan.
He had the Jackal for a bit, but I guess
Yeah.
it's not in the Oddities era, but
Yeah.
we'll bring the
He
Jackal
was a big
back.
boy. Yeah, yeah.
ICP 98, that'll help him get a headline run. Good feud the ministry. D'Lo Brown or Bull Buchanan? Right to censor era or regular Bull? Oh, don't let me choose between D'Lo Brown and Bull Buchanan.
I'm going to say D-Lo.
Bossman era is the real bull.
Right.
But I will say D'Lo.
Yeah.
You look at the real deal now.
Yeah.
Kick your sorry ass down the street.
I love D-Lo now, where he just goes to like fish and chip shops in England and is like, this
Yeah.
one's good.
Him and Gangrel
From
love...
Helsinki, D'Lo Brown.
Him and Gangrel love a Weatherspoons.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gangrel went straight to hell many months ago, by the way. He gets a Stella and a fish and chips, was it? I can't remember what
I
it was.
remember that, yeah. I think it's the only place they trust. They ought to go back home and say, what's England like? Because, we only eat Weatherspoons, brother. Oh, that's spotted dick for me. Yeah, D'Lo Brown.
And Val
obviously.
Venus appears.
Yeah. Big Boss Man or Viscera? Well, Big Boss Man was headlining for a bit.
Yeah. Big boss man.
And it was a great period of time, late 99.
So was Mabel.
Yeah, well, King of the Ring.
no.
King of the Ring.
Oh, 2 great periods.
I'll go boss man.
I'll go boss
80s
man.
boss man.
Oh,
Not
Yeah.
not 90s.
yeah. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah. Blue shirt boss man.
Blue
Yeah.
shirt boss.
Oh, he
the
was
best.
the best.
Brian Christopher or Scotty Too Hottie?
Oh.
Scotty too hottie. I think I'd say.
Scotty, because then he can go, I'm going to be the WORLD champion. And they do the thing.
He's booked it.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Yeah.
That one moment.
There's no beating that.
Pete Gas or Rod. More Main Street Posse.
Oh, Pete Gas.
Pete
Roddy's
Gas,
the worst.
Yeah,
Pete
very
Gas is the
terrible,
boy.
Imagine being the worst bit of Main Street Posse. Steve Blackman or Hardcore Holly?
Oh.
Now we're talking.
That is a Bobby Dazzler.
Oh,
He's pure hard.
they both are.
Steve
but-
Blackman, I reckon.
No, Big Shot, Bob Holly was an amazing few months. All right. Oh my God, Undertaker's come to the ring. Oh, Baron Austin. Here comes Kane. Big Show's here. And Bob Holly. What are you doing here? It's like, I'm a Big Shot. Oh, such a good game.
Royal Rumble, was it 03 or 04?
Oh, 4.
04 means the answer is Steve Blackman.
That's a valid point. We'll move on. Taka or The Godfather?
Oh, Taka. all
Taka,
day
yeah.
Oh, I'll put The Godfather.
We flirted.
He was the most over dude for a while. And obviously because of the women, but...
An iced tea. Grab your bitches. Pimpin' ain't easy, man.
Yeah.
Article from the
I
rest.
remember his like main event promos. He comes to the ring and talks for 20 minutes at the start of Raw. What's he gonna say?
This is Sandra.
Hey, Mosh or Thrasher?
I've got no idea.
Oh yeah, God.
Mosh.
Oh yeah, Mosh. Because Mosh went into Chars, didn't he?
Yeah.
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 What did Thrasher do?
And Beaver Cleavage.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Beaver Cleaver. Beaver Cleaver?
Beaver Cleavage.
Beaver Cleavage. With his mom. With the big breasts.
And it was like, do you remember this 1950s American TV show? No.
No.
And if I did, I'd hate this.
I don't know what Thrasher did. They always said
Dennis the Menace.
They always said the Thrasher was the better wrestler, though. I don't know where I picked that up from, but it's some sort of podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know I could pick up. I never really watched the Headbangers for the star quality.
Yeah.
They just jump into each other, don't they?
Yeah.
And he had that, was it the mosh pit, which is a powerbomb leg drop combo?
Yes.
That I've never seen anyone else
Yeah.
do. Apparently because it's really terrifying taking top rope leg drops.
I imagine
on
it is.
wrestlers.
I bet it is.
Yeah. Steven Richards, right to censor era, or regular Stevie, or X-Pac.
Oh, Stevie
Stevie
Richards, right to
Richards.
censor era.
No,
Oh,
no.
It's so
White
good.
socks. Fashionista Jim Ross, not appreciating the white socks, the black trousers.
I think X-Pac might be even more hated than right to censor during that period of time. So I'd say him.
Yeah. I know. I think I'm sticking with Stevie Richards. Right to censor.
Yeah.
So good.
Damn white socks.
And because I can't get the female part of the roster, Tori or Luna. Oh, through the prestigious 98 women's division.
Oh, and Tori was horrible.
Yeah.
Not like as a wrestler, sorry. No, as a human.
I was going to say, yeah, Luna
You just assume
Vachon
it's a
was...
human when you say that. But
It's a good point to make. Yeah, Tori was rubbish, but Luna Vachon, I love the gimmick and style.
Yeah.
I could do some of her,
Yeah.
so to speak. The Cat or Deborah.
Oh.
Nothing but 5-star bangers here, lads.
Yeah.
it always impressed me how on the early SmackDown games they both wrestled in heels.
Yeah.
They did really well. I don't know.
did really well.
I'd say the cat.
I'd say the cat.
Did the cat do more wrestling? I think it's safe to say. Deborah was more of a valet.
Yeah.
Calling it wrestling.
I know. Yeah.
Subjective term.
More physical action.
Confrontation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a photo finish, but yes.
Physical exertion.
Yes. Jazz or Nicole Bass.
Jazz all day long.
Absolutely. So good, Jazz. Keep up the good work, and I'll keep listening in. Oh, and if you're still ticking off locations for your map of the US, we are. This email's coming to you from Connecticut, up the northeast part of the country. Cheers. John Carr. Thank you very much, John Carr.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
well,
Connecticut in the northeast.
You posh bastard.
You posh bastard. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for your Reese's Pieces. If you have any others to send to us, please send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. And please put in the little header that it's a wrist piss. Makes our life a lot easier. We appreciate that.
Piss.
It's Cultaholics.
What a lovely return to form, I'd like to say. Quite braggadocious, I think about it. We've got a little bit left of this lovely podcast, but before we do, let's say a big shout out to our producers for the podcast, Reno2200. Way. Noah Anderson. And Nick Harabi.
Harabi.
Yay. There we go. Love the chemistry. Thank you very much for the producers. You magnificent bastards, you.
Thank you.
The big question this week, lads. Who is the best wrestler of the half year 2022? We are past the halfway line now. It's now more second half of the year. We're now on Dolph Ziggler, miserable bastard mode. Dolph Ziggler, good bastard mode. So we're having a look now, seeing all these fantastic matches we've seen, the bangers, the clangers, the ding-dong battles, as you've put in these lovely notes, Ross. Who have you got is your wrestler of the half year?
We're only allowed to say one name as well.
One name.
One name and one name only. You have to nail your flag to their mast. Steady on, Wade Barrett. We'll get my mast out.
What?
I'm captain.
Damn it. Whereas I had one pick.
I think I know mine.
Go on.
And I think it's Konosuke Takeshita.
Takeshita.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good pick.
I think he's just been like since coming to AEW, obviously I think a lot of people have sort of slept on him because we didn't really know who he was if we didn't watch DDT and whatnot. And I think he's just absolutely pulled it out the bag to the point where we do nothing but cheering. Like we said in the John Moxley match, right? Like Moxley kicked out of a move and people were like, boo, don't do that, boo. Like every time he's in the ring is so good. And he's got such a finesse. He's like, what is he, 26 years old, I think. But he's been in the ring for like, I think 10 years, they say. Like he started at 16. And like, where's he going to go from there? He's just going to go up, isn't he? Straight up
The
on that
only
mast.
way is up, yeah. Well
Right
said.
up the mast.
So he's on
down the totem pole, as we learned.
That's right.
What's
Yes.
that one?
We know they always say the worst one's at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
Well, we've learned on the podcast that that's actually the other way around. It's
Yeah.
wrong. You have to be at the top of the totem pole to be worst. At the bottom to be the best.
Yeah, it's reverse order.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You live and learn there, Andrew.
Yep.
You live and learn.
Takeshita's my boy.
That's a very good
You've got
pick.
bottom of the totem pole. Fantastic. Who have you got?
Daxley Hardwood.
Oh,
mine.
that's
Fine.
a good one as well.
Daxley Hardwood. Not Hardwood. Harwood. I don't know what you even say here. I mean, we should maybe get his matches up because I can't remember off the top
Let's
of my
see.
head.
He had that banger with Pac.
Yep.
Cage
Banger
match.
and Pac. It's a popular British
Banger,
dish.
banger. We all love that.
Yeah, I remember that being like, wow, this guy really is a good singles because he really gets a chance to do so.
He had was it against Adam Cole as well in the Bret Hart thing?
Yeah,
That's
was
good
really
shout.
good.
Yeah,
Only
that was one.
singles
That was
matches.
mint.
The FDR tag matches this year.
Will Ospreay was the one I've forgotten about.
Yes.
Oh my god, that
The
was
singles
so
match.
good.
Shoved him and
Yeah.
shoved him.
The singles match against Cash Wheeler.
Yeah, the Bret
CM
Hart tribute, but then he went, how dare you say that? Even though I was like, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
The
Come
other
on, lads.
masturbatory Bret Hart match against CM Punk.
Yep.
The Pac one was
that's a fun
mentioned.
match, yeah.
Oh no, that's it for this year.
What about these?
That's enough.
And just obviously because there's so many matches, just find me FTR tag matches.
Oh.
With the wrestle at Forbidden Door.
It was
The three-way for
it was
the
the-
Roppongi Vice.
Roppongi Vice and
United Empire.
United
Khan,
Empire.
yeah,
That's
right,
it.
right.
That was really
Yep.
good. Do it. That's it. It's got it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Don't do the other thing Great Khan does on camera.
there's no strippers here. I don't know what else to say.
That's a hell of a pick, mate.
Just him.
That's a very good
You've
pick.
got to say somebody different.
I know, you get.
And somebody
Those
preferably from WWE. So we're not.
Again, I would love to say Park just to be one of those lads. But I'll say Banga Belair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good shout as well.
It's either her or Becky Lynch because Banga Belair's just been mint. I think I haven't seen her do anything that I've gone, oh, that was only all right. Nah, she's mint even if she's having these mint matches with Becky Lynch, having mint matches when she's just, oh, it's you versus Doudrop. Yeah, near bother, pal. And she's just getting such a great, natural, positive reaction from the crowd. And because it's so hard for WWE sometimes. Brian Evans had a good point when he went, you know, does it say something about Vince and WWE when they have a really hard time writing somebody who's just nice? Because are they all just miserable people backstage? Obviously, Vince is doing horrible stuff, allegedly. But when you get someone like Banga Belair coming out just naturally being nice and not like kissing ass or anything like that, and crowd like, yeah, you're mint. It's like, oh, good. Sometimes this can just, it makes it look so easy. So bubbling under would be Becky because it's only because she was a bit rubbish when she came back, I thought, but now she's back to being Becky. Becky, good person.
Becky, good person.
Try to think of anything making me feel good. Becky, brilliant.
Oh,
Those yeah. So I've had, in terms of consistency, because obviously there's been people have had amazing matches and things like that.
Yeah.
In terms of consistency, Yes.
There we
That's
go.
a good pick.
Do you have a...
You know what we should do?
Go on.
We should defer the actual picking of the winner to the comments section to drive up interaction.
That's a mint idea.
And so we don't have to name it ourselves. So, I mean, you already done it, haven't you? Because you logged on the podcast, you logged on YouTube, sorry, you saw the title, you just put it down there before you even watched the show, didn't you? Didn't you? I see you. But if you haven't done that, just say either Andrew's right with Takeshita, or I'm right with Dax Harwood, or Maffew is right with Bianca Belair. And then we'll count them. Andrew will count them next week.
I'll count them next week.
Or people halfway through the podcast have now nominated that blokey from Bar Loco, hit the Superman punch, and he goes, what a man.
So I will see who's got the most votes, and then that'll be the half wrestler, the wrestler of the half year.
Wrestler of the half year.
Yeah. Wrestler of the half life. The mud blood. I don't know.
The mad,
The mud blood.
the muggles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potter?
Those were all words.
Aye.
We could debate that for another hour and a half, but we're not. We'll probably save that for another video, just soon. Maybe, possibly. But for now, we'll put a knot at the end of this lovely bow that we've had for the last few hours. Andrew, what have you got until next time, even if you are next week or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just say what you're doing.
The next episode of Lost Wrestling Media should be finished by, well, we're recording this on Thursday, so Friday, so it should be finished tomorrow. So we'll see if it goes up over the weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. And then other than that, just streaming on the Monday, doing some Resident Evil 7. So look out for that too on twitch.tv/Cultaholic at 6 p.m. What about yourself, Ross?
I've not got much because I've written 2 scripts this week for videos that I'll shoot next week because a lot of my time was taken up doing Jack stuff this week.
What a good job you've done, Ross. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I put my body on the line for you people at home. But so yeah, I've got an out this weekend. What about you?
Bless you, pal. Me and Tom return, finally, after a few weeks off, obviously being ill and stuff, with a Cultaholic Classic SmackDown review. Be streaming more of Dynamite Kid's book, which is on a Sunday evening, which is way more entertaining than you think it'd be because he does not mince his words. Wait, believe it or not, right?
Really?
Yeah. Can you believe it? Thank you. Got plenty to say, especially about the Hearts. He loves them. And also injecting Davey Boy Smith with milk as a rib.
With milk?
With milk.
What?
So we dubbed him Dairy Boy Smith.
That's good.
Ugh. Wrestling.
He's trying to shoot his wife as well. Shouldn't forget about that.
Yep. That's all we've got time for, folks. Patreon.com/Cultaholic for the Hall of Fame and mailbag@cultaholic.com for your thoughts, Reese's Pieces, queries, and just general love letters. But we're going to end this lovely podcast by pointing at Andrew Ross, man behind the camera, Mr. Dan Hebel. And we'll point at this and say the things that we like to say at the end of every podcast on the count of 3, which is 1, 2, 3. Join us. Couldn't think of anything.
Yeah.
Come. That's what I'm going to suggest.
Do it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Come.